apartment 5B.
You're now tuned into the Apartment 5B podcast, where we chop it up about hip-hop, R&B, sports, love and life. Hosted by Kill.
And when my pen hit paper, oh shit.
What's good? You are tuned in to Apartment 5B, hosted by your man, Kill. Squad with me as always. As always, ladies first. Porsche, what's going on?
How's it going, Kill? I'm good. All is well. I'm glad to be here.
Everything is good. My brother Rel out of Philly. The Sixers are in the second round.
Oh my God.
I'm sure we are Oh, was that a Knicks hat? We won't go there. We'll say that.
We ain't gonna do that. Look, I've been having a look at bro's big shit all day. So it's cool.
Nah, we'll talk about basketball later. But, Rel, what's going on, good brother? You good?
Everything good, man. Happy to be here as always.
I just see them Concords over there sitting in the back, man. That's a beautiful pair of sneakers, man.
Yeah, I'm scared to wear them, but I'm gonna wear them this summer.
Now you gotta wear them, man. I told you I had these fire reds I kept on ice for 10 years. I put them on, them shits fell apart on me. Them shits crumbled like, literally, they fucking crumbled. Like, you cannot, I learned the hard way. Wear your fucking sneakers, man. Wear them DJ Raekwon, it's been a minute, good brother. What's going on,
man?
Hey!
What's going on, everybody? That's what I'm talking about, family, love. What's up?
DJ Raekwon back in the building.
I'm right with you. I got a box right here in my closet. I'm with Kill. You got to wear them shits.
I'll be at the point I wear them shit just to the store, just to put them on, man.
Yeah, but they so plush. I don't want to mess them up.
Yeah, that's
my shoe size, my wear's got to be right because it's gonna take me a year to find another pair.
Right.
I feel you.
14s and 15s, they trying to charge me forever.
Raekwon, no doubt. Burn out of ATL, the enemy right now. All that JR energy gets to go in Vern's direction now. So what's going on, brother?
No,
man, I'm happy to be here. I'm excited. Glad to be on with my crew and glad for the second round.
No doubt. JR, what's going on, good brother?
Ain't nothing. I'm good. I'm happy to be here with the family. That's all. I'm good.
Hey, man,
good.
And y'all should be proud of the Knicks. Like,
I really am. For real. To be really honest, I knew after game 3 it was done. I already knew it. I knew it. Like, I knew y'all. Atlanta was the better team. Like, they were. Like, and then when we had Randall, wasn't even a first or second option, to be honest. So it was what it was. I was like, if you did, I would have been happy. But
it was so bad. I mean, it's good because I didn't even know none of y'all players. Like, I was like, who's this unicorn nigga with this one big dread? Like, nobody on y'all squad but like Derrick Rose.
Yeah.
Like, niggas hit threes. I'm like, who the fuck is that nigga? Who's so you can get y'all was a 5th seed with a who's who. Like, that's good. You know what I mean? Like a 4th seed. That's even. Y'all got a 4th seed with a who's who. You can't get mad at that.
So I'm good with it. I'm good.
All right, well, y'all know me. Let's jump right into it. Today, we're going to be talking about the dopest concept albums and concept songs. The reason why I jumped on this topic is because I was thinking just nowadays, everybody raps. You know what I mean? Me and Rella from uptown in Philly back in 88, I swear to God, my whole neighborhood, there was like 2 DJs, like maybe 3 rappers, and like that was it. You know what I mean? You go to uptown Philly nowadays, probably 158 rappers up there. Everybody raps, and people send me music, and it takes me back to even when I was at 889. Everybody rapped, well, not as many people, but a lot of people rapped, and I always would be like, a concept song will always stick out with me more than somebody just spitting. And it's crazy because my man Kel Spencer, who went to Morgan with me in Vegas, he's been on all our albums. He ended up writing a lot of stuff for Will Smith. And when he gave me his demo, everybody was giving me their stuff to play on the radio, and I was like, yo, what's this? He was like, yo, the name of the joint is Club Visions. And he was like, yo, I'm breaking down, trying to get into the industry, like trying to get into the club, and that the different A&Rs are the bouncers. And I was like, yo, that shit sounds dope. I'ma listen. And the fact that I still remember that 25 years later.
Yeah.
I may not remember the beat, I don't remember the rhymes, but I just still to this day remember that concept. So I'm always telling these young artists, if you really want to get somebody's attention, you need a dope concept. Maybe not a whole concept album, but you got to at least hit me with a song like, oh gee, it's about this. There's something that just catches your ear to make you say, damn, okay, like, yeah, I'll definitely check that out. So we are going with concept songs. Porsche, ladies first or not tonight?
That's fine.
All right,
Whatever
ladies
works.
first. What's going on?
Okay, so you want a concept song or album or?
If you got both, you could do a song and album. If you don't have enough to make the 5, you can pick whatever you want, however you want to do it.
I will go with an album, and then maybe
All
I'll throw in songs later. So my first one, and I always talk about this album on the TL. People always tag me when it comes up and everything. Sticky Fingers Autobiography of Kirk Jones. That is probably hands down my favorite concept album ever. I think Sticky is massively underrated. I think this album is criminally underrated. And basically, for people who haven't heard it, A, go listen to it. And B, it's about basically the alter ego of Sticky, who's Kirk Jones, and he's recently been released out of prison. And then it just goes through. And it's why I love it so much is because not only is it a pretty dope concept, although it's been done before, I think he does it very well. And his personality is brilliant. He plays the part so well and executes the lyrics, the track list, just the whole thing is amazing. I think that for concept albums, cohesion, sequencing, that kind of thing is vitally important. Otherwise, the whole thing can go sideways. And this one was just perfect on every single area ever.
All right, no doubt. You want to throw a song in too, or?
Here's the thing. So I was thinking about that. I knew you'd ask, and as I was going through the albums, I was thinking, what's my favorite song? And I don't know that there is one because the thing is,
no, not necessarily off of this album, but is there like a concept song that's just out there?
I
you want to
see.
throw on with your pick?
Just to kind of tack it on.
Yeah. Just if you have a song.
From a different artist.
Yeah.
Okay, Kill always asks me to pick like 5, and I always pick like 10. So this one I got Pharoahe Monch with the trilogy of the Stray Bullet that he did. That again, my favorite. Monch, as everybody knows, is alien with it. He's lyrically on point. The fact that this guy, like Monch comes up a lot in these lists because he just executes this concepts perfectly. And so my tracks are Stray Bullet, When the Gun Draws, and Damage. Like I just love all 3 of those perfectly. So.
And it's crazy because I have those exact ones on my list, and I have and I have Clap too from Off War. So you know what I mean. But the fact that Pharoahe to me has always talked about gun violence is kind of like similar to how EPMD did with Jane, where it was just a reoccurring theme on every album. But this is much doper than Jane because each one of those songs is completely different, but they all deal with gun violence. So definitely, the first time I heard Stray Bullet, I was like, yo, this is crazy.
Right?
Like, being in the mindset of, it's almost like a day in the life of a bullet. You know what I mean? And that just was like, I remember hearing this, I guess this is 94, and just being like, yo, like, that's some shit. The first joint I got up, my actual favorite album from Organized Konfusion, Equinox. You know what I'm saying? This is like a whole breakdown concept album of these 2 kids, Malice and Life, and just them rocking through the day. Malice is almost like if y'all saw Strat back in the day, like Bamboo, who was Frederick's character. Strat. Like Malice was just the young black and just don't give a fuck. I guess he just like Frederick, because that's the quote from Onyx right there. Young black and don't give a fuck. He's shooting everything up. A lot of people didn't really rock with the album because every song necessarily wasn't really with the concept, but to me it was enough that it flowed together. In Vitro is kind of like, right before that, Mouse's girl's telling him he's pregnant. Then they go into vitro, which is like, again, like Portia said with Pharoahe, coming with the concept of being an unborn baby inside the mother's stomach and everything like that. So I thought that was an incredibly dope album. Very slept on album, because whenever I talk about Equinox, a lot of people either haven't heard it or, you know, didn't really like it. But I always say, like, Pharoahe and Organized, there's like thinking man's music. Like, you can't put this on while you're cleaning the house. Like, this is some old, you gotta put this on and listen. Like, you're not in the car with your boys, you gotta really listen to really dig into it. And I know now more than ever, it's very hard to do that. And then a song that I'll tag on is Calm, Stolen Moments, Part 1, 2, and 3. I thought that was ingenious when he came out with that. Basically, somebody broke in Calm's crib. What they stole is a 31-inch. You could tell this was back in 1997 because nobody would even give a fuck about a 31-inch TV right now. But a 31-inch TV back in 97 was something. Stole his Iversons, his Rockports, his furniture. Then they had the nerve to smoke an L and cook chicken in his crib too. You know what I mean? So, you know, and then the whole plot is he's sitting there trying to figure out, well, he could have done it because he's vegetarian. He wanted to cook the chicken, and the stripper done it because she wanted to cook somebody else. So I just and it's three different, totally different beats on three different songs. He's got Black Thought on one chorus. He's got Q-Tip on another chorus. So again, this is 97, and I'm just like, yo, dope ass concept. Vern, what you got for one of yours, good brother?
I'm gonna go with an album that most of the whole world has never heard. Plug 1 and Plug 2 present First Serve. It's a De La Soul album where basically they take on a persona of an up and coming act, Pop Life Barrow and Dean Witter, and it shows them trying to get in the game. They get famous, then they have beef with each other, they break up, and then they get back together. And I had to dig deep. You know, I love De La Soul, as you can see the T-shirt, but I didn't know about this about 2 years ago or whatever, and I checked it out, and it's just like De La Soul. It's real dope. So it's called First Serve. Plug 1 and Plug 2 present First Serve.
Yeah, I ain't never even heard of that joint. You know what I mean? So, where'd you hear it? Because I mean, it's De La stuff isn't streaming, right? So you just found
I found on the internet. Yep. And when I was, doing one of those deep dive in De La, and then I'm like, what is this? And that's how I found out about it.
What year is that from?
2012.
So that's after the grind date.
Yep.
All right. No doubt. You got a song to tag on, or you good?
I'm good. I only got 5, so I'm saving my.
All right, you saving. I feel you got 4 in the pots over there. We're just trying to get forward. I feel you. DJ Raekwon, what you got, good brother?
So, let's see. Album wise, I'm probably gonna go with Good Kid, Mad City.
Nice.
As the first one. And the craziest part is when you listen to it, you got to be listening to it to catch that it's a concept album, that he's talking about a whole situation that's going on. I probably didn't catch it till about my third listen in, was like, hold up, all of this goes together. You know, the Shireen situation and, you know, everything else that goes along with the album. So I think that's a dope way to have a major label debut, and a dope way to let people know who you are without feeling like you're giving up too much of yourself willingly. You putting it in the concept to where people can catch it, and they're like, hold up, is he talking about himself? Maybe not, you don't know. But dope album. I'm sure everybody's heard it. And then from a standpoint of song, Superman Lover. I used to pay it, man, look, I'm a Redman head, but people say he fell off, but I promise you, if he did a Superman Lover, you're gonna listen.
Right.
Just because you want to know, you want to see where it's at. Right. But I love that concept. You know, the fact that he comes from that tree and was able to make one of his own, and probably ultimately make it stand out more than, you know, his predecessors or the people that he's come from. I ain't gonna put it out there. I'm sure somebody's gonna run with it, but that's the song concept I'm going with. All
right, no doubt. Rel, what you got, bro?
I got a song, man. I got Nature of the Threat.
Nice.
Raz Cash. Man, how do you explain this song? So, about almost 8 minutes of just education, really. Like, I never really heard nothing like that before. Even if you disagree with some of the facts or something is wrong, to take the time to do that from that subject matter, that's just that's just crazy. And
just the research alone.
The research alone,
like
man.
History lesson you'll never hear.
Right, and when I heard it, I was blown away, man. Like, I was like, I can't believe this dude did that. And I actually got to see the video where he talked about like how he wrote it and what sparked him in class that made him write it. So yeah, I'm gonna go with Nature the Threat. I got albums and songs mixed, so I just do the song right now. Nature the Threat, Razzcast. Yeah.
All right, no doubt. JR, what you got, good brother?
Okay, so you saying concepts as far as the whole album as a whole, right?
Whole album. Okay. You can hit me. I got some R&B joints on here, so if you want to hit the R&B.
Well, I'm gonna go with this one. The first one, when I thought about concepts, when you hit me, I'm Marvin here, my dear. That is a full concept about being in the divorce room with the dude. Like, he takes you through steps when he met Anna all the way to the end. Is like, when did I stop loving you when you stop loving me? Like, he takes right you through. So as a concept, and back then nobody really paid attention to it because ain't nobody really want to hear it. You know what I'm saying? Right. After you coming off of I Want You, that's a love making album. Then you come with this, it's like people like, what the hell is this? We don't want to hear this. Like, nah, but a concept, and that's kind of like the blueprint because now people are putting their life into music now. So that's a concept album for me.
Yeah, it's crazy. I love this album just based off the fact, because again, the concept just grabbed me. Like, yo, this boy was like, yo, all the money from this album gotta go to my ex-wife. Fuck it, I'm gonna make the whole album about her. Like, I was like, okay, so you gonna make the whole album? Like, he like, you gonna get this money? I'm putting all our business in the street. So,
because
like
even at first he wasn't, because he was gonna make it a fun album, to be honest. And then he was in the, he was in the studio and he got in his feelings. Like, this is some bullshit. Like, she about to get all my money. You know what I'm saying? So then he started getting in his bag. Then he was like, all right, well then I'm gonna put all my emotions into it. Because he wasn't at first. He was gonna do a bullshit album and give it to her, but he got into his feelings. So
yeah, I mean, and JR, you're the R&B guru. Is this the first R&B concept album? Because this is unheard of in the 70s.
Really, it really wasn't, because even before then, nobody really put their personal business into their music. You might have got a song, because he did it on Let's Get It On when he said, keep you satisfied. That was actually talking about Anna back then, but it was just a song and that's it. Nobody made a whole album about their life, so that was really like the first concept album about your life.
Yeah. You know what it's funny, I remember when Nas dropped Life Is Good and everybody was like, yo, it's like Marvin's Here, My Dear. And I'm like, nigga, have you never heard Marvin's Here, My Dear? Like, there's a couple of lines about Khalid and it's the last song about Khalid. But I'm like, Marvin's whole album was about that. So if you want to compare it, Nas would have had to make a whole album about Khalees and why they're getting divorced and everything like that. But I was talking about that earlier. That's people on Twitter and music journalists trying to sound smarter than what they really are. It's just easy just to be like, it's just easy to just, somebody was saying something about, I remember when Alicia Keys first dropped and they was like, yo, the next Roberta Flack. And I'm like, all the chick got to do is learn how to play the piano and she the next Roberta Flack. But that's just what you go to, and it's kind of like, you obviously have never heard Roberta Flack. Neither here nor there. Of course, what you got for next joint?
Okay, the next joint, again, I think this is kind of a slept-on joint, although I do see it talked about. It's MF Doom's Food album. I love that one because that track list is so impressive. It's all obviously food related, but then inside of that, it's also food related, but then the concepts kind of pop. Like, for example, the first track is called Beef Rap. And he talks about, like, obviously rap beefs, but the way he and I actually wrote out the lyrics to this one. It was the only album I decided to write lyrics out for because I just thought I love the way MF Doom did it. And everyone always kind of complains that MF Doom's lyrics are ambiguous and, it's hard to understand and all this kind of stuff. But I think with this food album, he did so well. So this one is like, beef rap could lead to getting teeth capped, or even a wreath for Mom Dukes on some grief crap. I suggest you change your diet. It can lead to high blood pressure if you fry it. So like when you can take that as him literally talking about beef, like a piece of steak, or you could take that as him talking about rap beats. So I think he's super clever. I love the way Doom sort of raps. It's so easy to listen to. He's engaging. But I'm kind of a Doom fan, so I really like this one. This is like 5 mics to me in terms of concept. Like I absolutely love this album. So, and then he's got a song called Hoe Cakes, which is obviously, but hoe cakes were a thing. They were an actual food.
Hey, Porsche.
Listen.
Hoes got to eat too.
They gotta eat too. Winky dinky dog. Winky dinky hoe cake.
Winky dinky hoe cake.
Stop it. Hoe cakes were actually a thing that were made on garden hose. Like actually. And then he this is what I'm saying.
Wait a second. I thought a hoe cake was just a pancake. And
but back in the 19th
am I wrong? A hoe
century.
cake ain't a pancake?
You got it.
I'm dead ass. Like, am I wrong? A hoe cake. I thought it was a pancake.
It is a pancake, but back in like the 19th century, it was made on garden hose outside, like literally.
How do you make a pancake on a hose?
You should. I recommend people read the history of hoe cakes.
I'm just sitting here like, how did water? When did you ever use a hose to make anything? But neither here nor there. Okay.
Yeah. So, anyways, MF Doom's food album concept. I love it. Yeah, I recommend listening to that one if you haven't already.
I'm gonna check it out. I don't think I've heard that one.
It's crazy you bring that album up.
What?
Nate just came downstairs the other day and she was like, "Yo, Daddy, can I get $40?" And I was like, "For what now? What are you buying?" And she's like, "Oh, MF Doom's food album." I was like, "Oh yeah, here, take it. You got it. No problem. No problem." I thought we were buying something else again, but yeah, no doubt. You got it.
And then a song that and again, I always talk about this song, so I'll keep it brief. Tupac's "Me and My Girlfriend," from the perspective of the gun. So I just love that. I'm still mad at Jay for sort of biting that. Yeah. That one.
No, I don't want the witnesses on the timeline.
I just conceptually, and I'll just say this: the reason why I mention Pac's "Me and My Girlfriend" all the time is because Pac never tells you what he's saying. He leaves it up to the listener, and I like that because we know that it's from the perspective of a gun. But if you want to argue that it's his actual girlfriend, that's cool too. Like I like that. It wasn't like the one where they're like, and I'm talking about ... and they tell the listeners what they're talking about. So, that one.
All right, no doubt. I'm echoing DJ Raekwon with Good Kid, Mad City. I was just like, Rack. Here's the thing, y'all. I don't really pay attention to lyrics. Y'all know I'm a producer, so I always hear the beat first. I hear the lyrics like 9th and 10th. Like I hear the beat, like that's all I hear. It's so bad. We're gonna talk about songs on here that I just had no idea what the fuck they were talking about. And people looking at me like, "Yo, nigga, are you stupid? You didn't know that that's what..." And I'm like, "Nah, just was listening to the beat." But this joint right here, I love it. It's like a day in the life of a kid in Compton, And the crazy thing is it reminded me of life in Philadelphia as a teenager. You get in your man's car, you driving around. An average day could turn into let's break in somebody's house. Like, fuck, why not? Like, you know what I mean? So I just love the whole concept of like, of course it's different in Compton than it is in Philly, like where your grandmother from and all that stuff. But it will definitely get checked. Like, yo, bro, why you in this neighborhood? Like, boy, who you here to see? You know what I mean? So I love the album personally. It's a 5 mic album to me. One of my favorites. And just opening this is just, I miss CDs, y'all. I miss when you had the double album and you had to open it up and the thing closed. So I mean, I just, again, like we talked about on the other show, I love the easy fact of being able to get it, but I just miss being able to actually touch CDs. And I guess for a song, I'll go with a song that I always play for my teens, Rewind, which is Nas just telling the story backwards. Ingenious. The first time I heard it, again, not really paying attention. And so that nigga said outside right weed. And I'm like, yo, what the fuck is this nigga talking about? And then I started paying attention. I'm like, yo, this nigga's a fucking genius right here. You know what I mean? Because it's been a lot of damn rappers all the way up to like what? Stillmatic dropping like 2001 to 2002. It's been a lot of rappers. And nobody's ever thought to make a song going backwards. And not only did he do it, like he killed it going backwards. And like, like for instance, and you know, I'm sure somebody's gonna bring it up, but we'll talk about it later. Like with comments I used to love. There's been a million people talking about hip hop as a woman. Like it's actually sickening to me that people are still talking about hip hop as a woman. It's like it's over, y'all. Leave it alone. No one has even dared try to touch the rewind concept. Like no one's even attempted to do that to me, which is a testament to just how dope Nas did it. So that's that for me. Vern, what's another joint you got?
All right, I don't know if it's necessarily a concept, but rock with me. It's Never Leave off of Little Brother. I think it's off a mixtape. I'm gonna just say Fonte's verse because it when it ended, I'm like, oh man. He said, "Come on, this is for my niggas on the corner, them boys on the block, steady moving at work. All through your community, you need a fundraiser. Them boys will come through and even slang at the church, in the kitchen all day long, over the stove. Yep, serving them fiends, steady cooking them O's till the smell get all in your clothes, keeping niggas heavy in the streets. And they screw the fattest of hoes. See the fiends line up trying to get that fix. Anytime, day or night, they'll scratch that itch. Have you run into your man's like, that's that ish? What is it? Yeah, they paper stay long and their money is thick. I know a lot of niggas gonna have to run this back like, dang, Fonte, what the F is you on, promoting crack? It ain't as bad as it might seem. I'm just shouting out my niggas down at Krispy Kreme. Now holla back. So, and then he said, you get the Krispy Kreme and all the dope boys go crazy. So the whole verse, everybody thought he was talking about cooking up work in the kitchen. He talking about selling Krispy Kreme donuts, bro. So,
wow.
Yeah, that's dope. That's dope. That's dope. Raekwon, what you got, bro?
I'm gonna go with the album. For me, it's ironic that Vern says that. I'm going with the Minstrel Show.
I have that one too.
I love that album. I anticipated it. Me and my homie in the barbershop, we were probably the only ones in there talking about it. We couldn't wait for it. I was okay with it. I liked it. I thought it was hilarious because at the time there was a lot of buffoonery going on in hip hop, and they poked hella fun at it.
To the windows, to the walls.
Yeah, exactly. Like he killed a bunch of birds with one stone just by doing the Percy Miracles cheating joint, and I don't think people actually caught it. So that was a perfect way for them to do that and still actually have or not have the sophomore jinx. Love the album. Couple standout joints off there is cheating, ironically, hiding place. And I'm gonna say slow it down. Dope album. If you haven't had the time to take a listen to it, it's a concept album all the way through with the skits and everything. The UBN network, like they run with it. They run with it hard. They run with it hard. So just take a listen to it. I appreciated the album. Dope album.
That's the first Little Brother album I bought.
Really? No, I had to search. I searched for the listening, man. I had heard it, but didn't have all of it, and ended up finding it in a Sam Goody in a mall in Voorhees, and was blown away. So the Minstrel Show is definitely a dope concept album, and needed at the time it came out.
Yeah.
All right, no doubt. Bro, what you got, bro?
I got another song, man. A lot of y'all probably didn't hear it. It's a song by Lupe Fiasco. It's called "I Live Forever," and basically,
what album is this joint off of?
Oh shit!
Am I back? I'm good.
There you go.
You good? You good? What album is it off of?
It's off of the Droga's Waves, the last one that he put out. But basically, a little girl died in her father's lap in Chicago from a bullet meant for him. Her name was Janila. So he tells the story as if she survived the shot, grows up, and becomes a nurse in the neighborhood where she grew up in. And by the end of the song, she's ran outside to save a baby that got shot while sitting on his father's. Sitting on her father's. So she basically saved herself. You know what I'm saying? Wow. So if you just check it out, it was deep.
Story?
Yes, that really happened. Just
right. What's the name of that joint again?
Janila Forever. It's like Janelay, something like that. Janila Forever. It's on Droga's Ways. It's it's deep, man. Like, cause it's a true story, and he kind of made it as if she grew up and became a doctor, and she heard a shot outside, and she ran out to save a baby. And that's the same way she like died in real life. So it was deep.
Wow. That's crazy,
man. He's dope, but he got in his own way, man.
Yeah.
That's one
man.
thing. Like, and we kind of done, and it may be time for that part 2 show of like, when did your favorite rapper fall off? Or because I really don't know what happened to Lupe. Like,
he started thinking he's like God's gift to the world, and like, bro, he's dope, but man, get off yourself a little bit.
Yeah, he had some issues too. When after the album, the first album and all that, he had like some label issues where they had his album hostage for real, like, and some hackers released it or something, and then he put out Lasers, which was whack, which was his worst album. So, but it's crazy because his last album that a lot of people didn't hear is dope. It's dope. It's actually a concept album, like half of it, but it's dope.
That's dope. JR, who you got, good brother?
All right, I'm gonna get to my R&B bag for now. I'm gonna say Curtis Mayfield Roots, and the reason why I say that is because he wanted mainstream world to know about our black roots. So he said on the cover, I'm gonna sit in front of a tree, and it's gonna be roots. Not say so. It's like, oh, he's thinking, oh, the white people are just gonna grab it because I'm sitting in, some roots and all this kind of stuff. Right. Not thinking they're gonna hear songs like Underground. They're gonna hear songs like Keep On Keeping On. They're gonna hear like a concept of his people. So I just like how he did that. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like they thinking, oh, he might be talking about flowers and being in this and doing all this, but Curtis Mayfield's like, no, I care about my people. You know what I mean? So I just like that concept. A beautiful brother of mine, like talking about that. We gotta have peace. Like he just went in, and I think it was just a dope concept on how he called it roots and the angle he went with it. You know what I mean? So that's mine.
That's dope. Porsche, what you got up next, miss?
Well, I had Rec took mine with Lil Brother, but so I'll just skip that. But that was part of my list. I got.
Well, you have anything else to add onto the Minstrel show?
No, I think Rec nailed it. Like they took jabs at a lot of things going on in hip hop, and I don't think people really.
Now tell me this, because y'all know I'm not the biggest Little Brother fan. I'm not a Little Brother fan, so we ain't even gonna play the game of I'm not a big one. But
well, I'm not a die-hard Little Brother fan.
Let me bring that shit back. Like I'm not a big.
But that's Rec's bag. But okay.
But so what I'm hearing is that they took jabs at a lot of things. It wasn't similar to what the Roots did with What They Do type thing. I was going to ask because I know that album is revered. I've listened to it; it's cool, but I'm just wondering why didn't they catch the hell that the Roots did? Was it just the timing of when the Roots did?
I think the comedic aspect of it is why they didn't catch the heat.
Okay.
Yeah, totally. And they are parts where it's actually funny, like. Really actually pure comedy in there. So I think they were able to, again, this speaks to the whole group. Like Fonte is amazing at how he's able to deliver that and like say what he's got to say and then but say it in a way that's sort of easy to digest too. Like you don't get offended by it. Fonte's very good at that actually. So I think that's probably why.
And I think also too, niggas was dumb, and Fonte, they too dumb to understand that he was
right
throwing shots at him. Because that was the era of the ringtone rappers. I mean,
that was 05,
It probably went way over their head. They probably didn't even know he was talking about that.
Exactly.
And then I'm thinking too. I think. It was probably the What They Do video, that was so even if people were stupid and they didn't hear it, saw it. So because if you hear What They Do, you may not envision the video of them or how Big took away like, oh y'all niggas making fun of me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Same thing. Like if Big just heard the song, he probably wouldn't feel that way. But then when they saw the video, that was poking fun at everything. That's when people felt some kind of way. All right, sorry, Porsche. What else were you saying about?
No, nothing. I was going to give you my album for this round. I got Master Ace's Disposable Arts, and again, I really can't talk enough good things about this album. It's similar to the Sticky Fingers joint in that it's dealing with a prison release, but where it differs is that Master Ace takes you through the release, then the struggle, and then enrolling in in the Institute of Disposable Arts and all of this. Now, how this is just so great is that the skits in this album, and I often talk about Master Ace's execution of skits, which is to me almost perfect. I think he's flawless at it. So is Little Brother, but in this, there's like a commercial break, and it's a skit, and you hear like an infomercial type about this Institute of Disposable Arts. And then in the next track, he's talking to his girl, and he's like, "Hey, I'm enrolling in this institute and she's like, "Why are you doing that? That's stupid." And then it carries on. So it's just a very, when I talk about sequencing being so important, this is why. This album plays out like an actual movie, like an audio movie. It's brilliant. So Master Ace's Disposable Arts, 5 mic album for me, conceptually.
All right. No doubt. It's funny when I think of Ace, because he has so many conceptual albums.
Right.
Long Hot Summer, the joint he just did with Marco Polo. It made me think of Thought was interviewing D Nice once, and D Nice was just talking about how he's been able to basically what's the word? I don't know. Start over again. So it's like knew D Nice as a rapper, then he became a photographer. Now D Nice as probably Club Quarantine. Everybody, the DJ, everybody goes to, from Michelle Obama down to Little Pookie. If you can afford them, you want D Nice. And he was saying how he's shocked that more rappers don't reinvent themselves. Like he was like, I'm just shocked that somebody like Slick Rick isn't a script writer. Like, why doesn't Slick Rick have like 5 scripts out, or and things like that? So when I think of Ace, I just always think like, dog, how don't you have a movie out? Like even a low budget independent.
So true. I so have to agree with that.
Be the Spike Lee of hip hop with making movies. Like I said, I don't even care if it's low budget shit. I see shit on Amazon Prime when I'm bored at night that I'm like, God damn it, I could be a director if I really wanted to. Like, so I'm just shocked that Ace. Because that's a gift to be able to come up with these concepts and then not only come up with them but actually play them out and do it numerous times like Ace does is amazing. So I definitely feel you with that. Next album I'm gonna go with our Apartment 5B Esquire. I'm going with Tracy Lee's Many Faces. When Many Faces dropped, a lot of people weren't feeling it, but again, since I knew Trey as L Rock from when he was at Howard and he was unsigned. So when I saw Trey Lee when it came to mail at 889, I'm like, who's Tracy Lee? You know what I mean? And then when you get the album, it's like, it's Mr. Lee, it's Trey, it's LR, it's L, and then it's Rock. And you kind of got him having different personalities. And I know he talks about it. I remember seeing the reviews like, this is just all over the place. And then I guess maybe like that's 97 and like 2001, 2002. I remember Nelly came out with like a double album, like Sweatsuit. And like one song was for the club and one album was for the girls. And, to me, it was kind of just the same concept. But I just think Trey was kind of ahead of the time with trying to do an album where you have different personalities, which, for a lot of people could mean some different things. When you see me in the hood, I'm not going to hold you. I don't have my Christian personality on. I mean, I ain't wildin', but like you can be different people in different places. So I thought the joint was ingenious when it came out. And the next joint I'll go with is Pharoahe Monch's Trilogy. That's off the Desire album, which is 8 minutes of him explaining this song with 3 different beats over his wife cheating on him with, and I don't want to say who it does because I want folk to listen if you haven't heard it, but it's basically this rundown of him catching his wife cheating, and it's just like 8 minutes of just him telling this in-depth story of how it just all connects and everything like that. So that's the joint I got. Vern, what you got up next?
All right, I'm gonna go with an album that I found out during my daughter's college basketball days when I'm driving 2 to 3 hours to see her play. and I was listening to podcast Decipher. It's an album called Fonte. It was by Fonte and Eccentric, the story of us, the story of US. And what it is US stands for unheralded symmetric. It's hilarious again because Fonte is a fool. This dude impersonates Wu-Tang, especially RZA, on some songs. The Dungeon Family, CeeLo, Big Gip, Jay Dilla, DMX, Cash Money, Aaron Neville, Dre, and Eminem. And the crazy thing about this album, he was talking on the podcast that a record executive heard it. It was like, yo, we need to. Who is this dude? I mean, he sounds like Cash Money. We need to sign him. It just shows to what you were just saying about why rappers don't reinvent themselves. Like from that album, Fonte went on to write the rhymes for the breaks.
Yeah, on VH1.
Mm-hmm. And then him and Zoe scoring stuff on Sherman Showcase. Fonte got like a rapping banana on like Sesame Street and some other stuff, but he talked about that album like opened him up to all kind of worlds, and he said, I'm not going to limit myself to one thing. So check it out. I found that on the internet as well. It's called by Fonte and Eccentric, the story of us.
All right, no doubt. DJ Raekwon.
I got a song.
All right.
That I wish they would have been able to do another one or update it, but that's neither here nor there, man. Ghost and Ray, MGM. When you listen to it, you realize they at the fight and they're telling you what's going on, and nobody's ever done that. With the amount of fights that's been going on and just rappers at these fights, you would think that somebody would be able to articulate what's happening or what's going on at these fights or just anything in general. And they do it the only way that Ghost and Ray can, man. They got me wanting more. I would love to hear something else along the lines of a sports event or an event coming from those two. So right. MGM for me is a dope concept of how they flipped it.
Let me ask you a question real quick, because we've done the show about albums hip hop owes us. And I was about to say, man, Ghost and Ray owe us an album.
Yes.
Ghost and Ray kind of. Do y'all feel like Ghost and Ray have already given us an album with Cuban Links and Iron Man? Like, do you think a Ghost Ray album would be any different? It would just be the same?
I think. Go ahead.
I don't think Cuban Links is a Ghost and Ray album. I'm in that camp.
Right. Yeah, I know there's different camps, but it just when Ray was saying that, I was like, damn, man, I want a Ghost and Ray album. And I'm like, well, nigga, don't you have two already? Like,
it's. I'm with Porsche. It's not like we got tons of Ghost and Ray songs doing. We can make our own damn playlist of an album. But I want that. I want just them two promoting
like on every track. Like every track is Ghost and Ray. Ghost has a track, Ray has a track, couple in there.
PPMD, back and forth type shit. Okay. That's what I want. That's what I want. That's what I want. That's what I mean by their own album, not Ghost's album and you get Ray every few songs. Nah, I want a Ghost and Ray. I don't want no Capadonna with the motherfucking Jaffe Jufer looking shit. I don't want none of that. I want a Ghost and Ray album.
like a Tekken Steel album.
15 of the 15 bangers. I can't say who I want to produce by because they do well over just about any production they get, but 12 to 15 bangers of Ghost and Ray, concepts, spitting, all that.
You know me, I'm real specific. I want that album in 1996.
Right. That's what I was going to say. I don't want a 2021 version of Ghost and Ray.
I want a 96 joint like that. Ralph, what you got up next, good brother?
I got an album. I got Jay-Z, the American Gangster album. One of his better joints, man. Recent, and kind of went in line with the movie. You know what I'm saying? All the subject matter and all that went along with the movie. So I think he did a good job. I think the beats, like it all kind of followed a certain theme. You know what I'm saying? And I think it was well sequenced and everything. I think it was a good concept album that kind of fit in line with the actual movie, So I'm gonna go with American Gangster.
I love American Gangster, man. I think it's 5 mics. The crazy thing with that album is whenever I really want to hear Jay, I pick up American Gangster first. And that always throws me off. Like, I don't reach for Reasonable Doubt. I don't reach for Blueprint. If I'm in the mood for hear some Jay, I always go to American Gangster. I don't know if that means I like American Gangster more. I just know that when I'm in the mood for that, and it may have been the timing of it, I loved it just because when people like, oh, Jay coming out with another album, I was like, not the fuck again. Like, dog, leave it alone. You know what I mean?
Right.
But then when I heard it was going to be based around the movie, and I'm like, oh, Jay-Z gets a green light to talk about drugs again, then I'm all in. Because to me, that's Jay at his best. I think Jay is Pusha T that can do numerous other stuff. You know what I mean? He can make club songs, he can do. But to me, Jay-Z is at his best when he is talking about drugs. And there are so many quotables to me on that album. You know what I mean? Whether it's Fallen, whether it's American Dreaming, whether it's God, what's my joint? I can walk by the Hall of Mirrors and Versailles and be so satisfied when I look myself in the eye. Like, there are just so many quotes on there. And then I think getting with the Sean C and LV, getting with Hungry Producers and, you know, everything like that. It's crazy how Puff did what Puff did with them, but you know, it's Puff, so he does what he does. So, you know, but I think that was definitely an incredible album.
Him and Beans spazzed out too.
The only thing that I never understood why they threw in there was that Hello Brooklyn. Like, I just felt like that was that.
With Lil Wayne.
They had no place there.
We put him where he belonged, on the hook.
But I mean, even that, to me, the that whole Hello Brooklyn just didn't fit. It almost was just like they finally got these two together. Let's throw them on it. But I mean, so many quotables. The whole "the Haven," fuck the Haven for caving. That's why we don't speak. Made men ain't supposed to make statements. Yo, Jay Black.
That John, no hook.
Oh, no hook.
Crazy on that John.
Yo, I mean, Rock Boys. To me, the whole album is just
Rock Boys is a celebration. That Rock Boys ain't at the same level of Lucchini, but it make me feel kind of good like
Rock
that.
Boys,
still getting the check.
Them horns, bro.
It's so funny.
That's
so
what
funny you
said them horns.
It's so funny you said Lucchini. Like, Jay wanted a lot of they beats, Camp Low beats, man.
He got a lot of they beats.
Because what's
the call? Feeling
it. I heard Camp Low version. Yeah, they was
I want to say, what was the other joint with the "You Know How We Do" Rockefeller?
Oh, you talking about
Cashmere Thoughts? Cashmere Thoughts.
Cashmere Thoughts.
You got a couple of they joints.
Politics as usual.
Politics usual. Okay.
That joint was supposed to be Camp Blue too. You know what I mean?
And they say he wanted Lucchini. They was like, no sir. No sir.
But I think that was one of those joints. Like, it was like, well, we already gave you that shit. You gotta let us live with this. I mean, it's gotta be hard when you were up and coming group and your producer is making beats for Jay-Z too, because you always know you gonna get shitted on. Kind of like how I think H to the Izzo was Cam's beat. Kanye said Cam could have it, and then Cam hears that on the radio, like, nigga, you just gave the beat to Jay-Z, like, where they do that at? But again, if your main producer, if Jay is on, you know Jay is getting first dibs on everything. You know what I mean?
Right.
Which is crazy. Real quick funny story. I don't know if y'all have ever done this. Talib Kweli's podcast is actually good. I'm not saying it's good because of him. I'm saying it's good because of the guest that he gets. But he was talking with 88 Keys, and 88 Keys was saying how he saw Jay in the studio one day, gave him a pound, like, yo, I got beats. And he was like, yeah, you know, call my office. And 88 Keys walked away like, I don't know your fucking office number. He's like, all right, nigga, just play me or whatever like that. But since he was running with Kanye, he was giving some beats to Beans. So Jay walks in the bass line and he hears all these beats that Beans is getting from 88 Keys. And he steps to him like, yo, nigga, what the fuck? He's like, yo, I tried to give you the joy earlier. He's like, oh shit, like that was you type thing. You know what I mean? So just real dope interview with 88 Keys. And I'm not even the biggest 88 Keys fan, but very dope interview on that joint with them. JR had to dip off. Porsche, what you got up next?
I got Tracy Lee's Glory album. That was my favorite joint of 2020.
Good one.
That was in a shared spot with an RJ Payne joint, but Tracy Lee's Glory album is, oh my God, it's brilliant. And conceptually, why I have it as a concept album is because Trey not only kind of captured the whole pandemic, and then the whole unrest in the United States and sort of globally in every song. Lyrically, he brings it. He's never lost a step. I don't know how a rapper can start out in 97, take a hiatus for however many years, and come back and not miss a step. Like, to me, it's just crazy, because a lot of the rappers that we love kind of dip out for a couple years and come back and we're like, the hell did you just give us right now? Trey's the opposite of that. The Glory album is brilliant. The lyrics are so on point. He samples parts of Tamika Mallory's speeches, and it's just amazing. And the reason why it's such a great concept is because he also followed it up with a manuscript. Like, this dude is just, he's so smart. Trey is amazing. So yes, Tracy Lee's Glory album.
All right, no doubt. I'm gonna hit y'all with a song. I think he's one of the dopest MCs ever out of Philadelphia. I call him the dopest MC out of Philly nobody's ever heard of. That's The Last Emperor's Secret Wars. You know what I mean? Yeah. My man Jake, who was on the podcast once, Vern, this was a joint where I was saying this was my man, and we was talking about how long am I gonna owe him something? You know what I mean? Him and he went to Lincoln before he came to Morgan, and Last Emperor Jamal went to Lincoln, so they was cool. He brought through my crib one time to listen to beats, and we were in my basement, and we started going through my comic book collection. So a studio session actually turned into a whole comic book, thing. And he was like, "Yo, I got this song. I'll play it for you, Secret Wars." And for people who haven't heard it, it's basically if rappers and comic book characters fought each other. So he had Spider-Man versus Nas. He had Doc Octopus versus Busta Rhymes with the Wild Dreads. He had Storm versus Lauryn Hill. Vern, like you were saying, with Fonte doing the different impressions, that's how he is. He's doing like common sense, like giving a play-by-play, like the fight side ring analysis on who's about to fight. And again, just when I heard that, the concept of it, and I'll keep it a buck with you, I don't like the beat at all. Like, I think the beat is like blah at best, but it's the rhymes and just the concept that this dude really has Spider-Man fighting Nas. I just think the way he pulled it off was incredible. And I'll tag that on with one of my R&B joints. I will go with Erykah Badu's Bag Lady. And the reason why I love Erykah Badu's Bag Lady is because, like I said earlier, I don't listen to lyrics. So Bag Lady is playing on the radio, me and Tia in the car, and I'm like, yo, this is so fucking dope. This is why I fuck with Erykah, because, she's talking to the homeless community. Like, who's out here talking about the homeless community? Like, I mean, when you think about it, all these singers, all these fucking rappers, and don't nobody say shit about the homeless community. So for her to make a song about homeless people, it's fucking incredible to me. I love that. And Tia's she is talking about goddamn women and their baggage and they can't move on. I was like, that rebate gift of him being like, that was me, like, shit, you know what I mean? So, and she does it, and Erykah does it all the time, and she always has to bring me back. Like when Erykah did Green Eyes, I was like, now, is this about her having green eyes? She's like, no, nigga, it's like Green Eyes. Dallas from Andre 3000 moving on, blah, 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 blah. Right. So if you tell me a song is called Bag Lady, nigga, it's about a bag lady. If you say it's about green eyes, shit, you got green eyes, I'm assuming it's about y'all. So, again, I have no problem saying, I told you this joke a million times, and this is the difference about me and a lot of people on Twitter. People that act so goddamn cool on Twitter. I have no problem making fun of myself. I think the shit is fun.
Yeah, me too.
I was in my apartment. We was watching videos. I used to love it came on, and then probably after hearing this for like the 10th time, I'm like, yo, y'all, the nigga's talking about hip hop, and everybody in my crib's like, nigga, he says this shit at the end of the song. He says so. What I'm talking about, y'all, is hip hop. You heard this song numerous times, nigga. So how are you having this epiphany after the 10th listen that what he's talking about is hip hop? But I just told y'all, beats are 1 through 9 to me. I swear to God, I didn't hear Google's voice until that nigga died. And that was the first time I put on Gangster and really loved what Google was saying. Because it was just all about Premier. It was just all about Premier. It was like, yo, what beat did he chop? What drums did he use? Premier's this. And of course, I heard Guru. But y'all know how it be when you be arguing with somebody. It's like you hear him, but you ain't listening to him. So that's what I mean by I didn't listen to Guru. So, so Bag Lady. And I love the remix, the one where she used the explosive from 3000, from Chronic. I didn't really fuck with the original joint. Too laid back for me. But when that Dre beat come on, and in the back of my mind, I just hear Corrupt rapping, and it just goes together. So those are gonna be my two. Ron, what you got for your next one?
All right, I hope this fits the bill. It's by Eric Roberson, A Tale of Two People. What album was that on? Music Fan First, wasn't it, JR?
Yes.
Okay. Yes. Yeah. So it starts off, he messing with this chick, but she's got a man, and then so when her man come in town, she tell him like, act like you my neighbor or whatever. Mm-hmm. But then he started catching feelings, and then what else happened, JR? He ended up getting her pregnant.
Yo, I have to listen to the song in a minute, but he got her pregnant, and then after that, it was like shit, damn, bro. Damn it.
He pulled out the whole government name.
Like he just damn it. Shit. Damn, I just listened to this shit like 2 weeks ago. That's
but Kill, you will love it because the beat is stupid.
And what's the name of it?
A Tale of Two.
A Tale of Two.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But it's real dope. It's on his Music Fan First album.
Mm-hmm.
Music Fan First. All right.
And it's a sample. It's a sample from Minnie Riperton. Two people.
Right.
He's
talking about lyrics to go. Oh God.
Inside My Love.
Yeah. Right.
Yep.
All right. No doubt. Ref, what you got?
I don't know if this would be considered a concept album, but I can see where it could be placed in that category. I'm going with the Carnival, Wyclef Jean.
The theme
is all through the album. Of it being the Carnival, between the stories and the shit that was going on. Bubble Goose, come on, man.
Man, I love that song, bro.
I love that song. So I'm going with Wyclef.
I've got to listen to that album. I've never
heard that album, bro. That is a
listen to it when you don't have shit to listen to, because it will surprise you. I promise you.
Yep, I just seen the video for Staying Alive, and I was like, I'm gonna pass on this one.
No, that's Guantanamo. What's the
Anything Can Happen is my joint.
What's the other one?
He got some joints on there.
To All My Girls.
To All My Girls.
But it's a banger.
Which one?
It's a banger. It's
called
hard.
The Carnival. It's called The Carnival.
Yeah.
It came out in 97. Mm-hmm. I know you don't fuck with John Forte like that. I think John Forte got 1 or 2 joints on there before he got locked up. Check it out. It's definitely, it's themed as a carnival, but you're like, man, what kind of carnival is this? He tells some wild stories. Yeah. So just listen to it.
All right, no doubt. Bro, what you got up?
I got 2 songs by the same artist, and this artist got a lot of concept songs, but it's more like comedy, you know what I'm saying? So I remember you remember the Jukebox Network where the videos come on?
Where you could rent the joint.
Yeah. These 2 videos were like super popular. Biz Markie, The Vapors, and then She's Just a Friend later on. Those Jones, man. I remember as a kid, like, it was like watching a comedy show or something, you know what I'm saying? I could watch that around my mom, you know what I mean? So that was those were the joints, man. The Vapors, of course, about, people not messing with you when you down, and then when you blow up, and then Just a Friend, everybody know that, John. You know what I'm saying? That's to this day, so I'm gonna go with Biz. I'm gonna give Biz his flowers on that.
It's funny, somebody asked me my top 10 hip-hop albums ever, and it doesn't make my top 10, it makes my top 20, but Biz is going on. Like, I feel like that's so important, you know, and it's funny because when you watch, well, back when VH1 would play videos and MTV, I remember them having a one-hit wonder show, and Biz was on there for.
Yeah, I don't understand how.
The only song he had was
because they ignorant.
Like, right, because in their mind, Just a Friend is the only song. I'm like, nigga, that's off the third album. Like his whole first album, the whole album was 12 inches. So, but it just goes to show you how people, music journalists, don't know shit what they talking about
at all.
But yeah, like that album Vapors, and I remember when I got the tape, I was thinking, because this was around the time of hip hop when people were doing things like Kumo D, Go See the Doctor. So I thought when I saw Vapors on the track list, I thought it was going to be about a disease or something. Like at that time, that's all people was talking about, getting burnt by a teaser or something like that. So it shocked me when it was like, oh, we talking about this. Like it's dope too, but going into it, I just thought it was going to be on some old STD type song. But yeah, this
and the video for that joint is like that's a perfect video. It's so descriptive for what he was talking about. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, the way Kane rolled up on him like that on the joint, you know what I mean? And TJ Swan and the record store and everything. You know, and it's one of the things anybody can relate to. Even if you ain't getting no rap deal, you remember Shorty wouldn't give you time of day when you was on the bus. Now you
work for UPS.
Right. You know, now all of a sudden you can get that attention or whatever. JR, what you got up next?
Since you were saying Erykah, because I did have green eye, I'm gonna say Apple Tree or Baduism. I love how she said, how
it ain't about Apple Tree.
No, nigga.
It's a
Man, he messing with us, man.
My personality. I have been in board meetings and people will say something. I'll be like, what does that mean? And people be like, and I'm like, nigga, stop acting like every motherfucker knew this. Now, I understand with the concepts, I'm sure y'all knew. But I'm just that person who's like, what was she talking about?
She says it in the beginning of her first line. She was like, "This is not."
What did I say? The lyrics come eighth. I love
right. But she's
so
like, it's talking about food for thought. So she's telling you about knowledge, about what she dealt with in the world and what to look out for and all this kind of stuff. You know what I mean? If you ain't down with me, you ain't down with my apple tree. So I love how she flipped that like that.
Look at Claude and how he shows up. I have no idea. Look at Claude. I said,
but yeah, I had green eyes too, but you already described that already. But Apple Tree was mine,
which is an incredible song. I mean, the movements in Green Eyes is just flat.
The tempo changes.
James Poyser puts in work for that album. We talk about producers who are, who don't get their due. James Poyser, that whole album was James Poyser. So, absolutely incredible album. Porsche, what you got up next?
I gotta mention Commons. I used to love her. I know that gets hate. It's played out. Everyone has heard it a million times. I love that.
You think that gets hate? I don't think.
No, I just think people think it's played out. Like they're just sick of hearing about it, talking about it. I can't really say that it's underrated because everyone's always giving it its props. But I love it. I think it's the way I just wish Common hadn't told you it was about hip hop because. Or alluded to it differently without saying it so straightforward, So
then that way I would have never known. It would have taken me 30 years to say it. And so you just want me to be left in the cold to be on my deathbed. To be like, Kill. I used to love it was really about hip hop. We just didn't want to break your heart because you just loved it being like about a girl. Like you just want me to never know, huh?
The way from the beginning of the song, literally right up to the point that he tells you, hey, I'm talking about hip hop, he just explains the evolution of what he had seen with hip hop so perfectly. Right. And I don't think, I know you said so many people have done this concept, but I don't think any have executed it as well as Common did. Just everything was just so concise. It's just such and I don't think it'll ever it'll always stand the test of time is what I'm trying to say. It will forever be relevant. And in any era of hip hop or any sort of generation of hip hop, you can play that song and it'll make sense. You know what I mean? So I really love it. I just wish that, Common has the smarts to sort of do it differently. I just wish he hadn't said it so straightforwardly. That's all.
All right. The next joint I'm gonna go with is off of this joint right here, Brother Ali's joint right here. 5 Mic album, in my opinion, Morning in America, Morning in America, and Dreaming in Color.
Hey, isn't Brother Ali blind?
Yes, he is a white blind Muslim. Well, he's colorblind. You know, I don't think he can drive that, but he's not Stevie Wonder. But Jake One produced this album. Incredible beats. I never thought you could tell me a white albino blind Muslim would be like the torchbearer to Chuck D's microphone. But this album right here, he kills it lyrically, and he has a song on here. It's not the whole album as a concept, it's just a song off this album called Need a Knot. And it's similar to what Vern was talking about, what Fonte did. He talks about three things, and you think they're three illegal businesses, and you find out that they're not. So, you know, please go listen to the album. It's an incredible album. Jake One killed the production. The production is incredible. Brother Ali kills the rhymes. And like I said, it's called Need a Knot. And like I said, just the witty, great thing that he did. And the tag on my R&B joint, I'm gonna go with D'Angelo's Brown Sugar. I am one of the few people that
I'm with you, Kim.
flat out.
I ain't know what the fuck you were talking about.
Brown. Well, no, not just that, but I did not love Brown Sugar. Like, I thought the joint was cool. Like, when it came out, I was like, it's cool. It's, you know, nice mellow joint. Then one day I'm in my man Cool DJ Frank's basement. He's just like, yo, you know you talking about weed, right? And it was just like, it instantly just became my favorite song ever. It was it's like, oh, you're talking about weed? Oh, cool, we're good then. This is like number 10 now. So it is easily my favorite song ever now. But yeah, in the beginning I had no idea, and I don't think anybody did, because at that time you didn't have this shorty Tanya Pendleton, who actually is on Twitter, and I've shouted her out numerous times because she wrote this article about D'Angelo called Brutal Child in XXL back in '97. And to me, she explained him the best way that I would explain D'Angelo. And she's like, he's a nigga's nigga. You know what I mean? Like, D'Angelo to me, for me, was what Iverson was for basketball. You know, it's like I always loved basketball, but when I saw Allen Iverson, it was like I saw myself. You know what I mean? It's kind of like, that's how I kind of felt with D'Angelo. Like, Jodeci were like the bad boys, but nigga, I ain't have no Jerry curl, and I was like, when you saw D'Angelo, like, I remember D'Angelo couldn't even get into his own album release party for Brown Sugar because they thought he was a rapper. Like, it was like, there's no way that this 5'7" nigga with cornrows is the R&B phenomenon that y'all are all talking about. You know what I mean? Look at him in the Lady video. This nigga does not look like no R&B singer. Maxwell looks like an R&B soul singer. D'Angelo look like he about to, you know, get in the cypher with Wu-Tang and spit. You know what I mean? So to me, so I'll go with Brown Sugar for that. Vern, what you got for your last joint?
All right, I'm gonna take two. One hip hop, one R&B. I'm gonna go "Homecoming" by Kanye West. He talks about Chicago personified, and it's really dope. And then JR, I'm an album guy. You already know this. Girl in the Life magazine off of Boyz II Men Evolution. Dope.
Oh,
dope.
Yeah.
How about, what is a Girl in a Life magazine? What's this about?
They fell in love with the picture of a Girl in Life magazine, in a Life magazine.
Let me guess. Wanye
I mean, he said all of my friends used to laugh. Said I was certifiably mad till the day when she came and she took me away and asked would I be her man. So yeah, just
in Life,
in a Life magazine. Yeah.
See, this is when I'm the A&R. It's like, nigga, nah. We changed that to Essence, Honey.
Oh, no, you wouldn't. Not with Babyface wrote it. No,
Babyface wrote it.
Babyface wrote that.
Time magazine.
Yeah.
Life in the Life.
Girl in the Life magazine.
Yeah.
See, here's something else too. I'm about to cape for Boyz II Men right now.
Please.
Do.
All of their hits, I really don't care for.
Me too.
And neither do they. They fought. But how you telling the label when Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis and Babyface was at the height of their potency, that no, we want to write our song, nigga. If you don't get out my face and take
No,
this,
I'm not saying you gotta write your song, but I'm just gonna be like, my nigga, can't we freak that? Like, I like that. And you know why? It's just personality thing. That's why I like Bob. When Bob was like, yo, fuck that smooth shit, I want Teddy Riley. Like, you know, and again, I know Face wasn't Face, but I'm just saying, like, dog, like, can we make it another magazine? Like, can we just make it, you know, something a little round? But you're right, it's Boyz II Men, so I guess Girl in the Life magazine floats with their position laterally.
With their image.
Right.
You're right. You're right. You're 100% right. I apologize. I'm gonna have to listen to Girl in the Life magazine. Yo, that shit sounds like a South Park joke. Like, I'm not joking, right? They don't have a song on an album called Girl in the Life magazine. I'm gonna have to just listen to this.
Especially coming after 4 seasons of loneliness. Like, how
Now, all right, so you're saying it's a good concept song. Is it a good song? Like, is this
a good song? I mean, here's my thing. Them niggas can sing the phone book. So,
right, but that's what I'm saying. Does it make you a best of Boyz II Men?
No, it wasn't the best. No, I mean, no, but it's a good song. Yeah.
Magazine, okay. We are rocking and rolling out here.
I got 2 songs to end it off with. They come out of the same camp. Jizza, Labels. Man, he broke that shit all the way down. He was still mad over them cold chilling days. And Killer Priest, Basic Instructions Before Leaving Earth. Man, I have not heard another concept broken down in the same way since. And that probably is one of the most genius songs talking about some stuff that people ain't really trying to hear. Right. Just from 2 very well written MCs. And it doesn't surprise me that they come out of the same camp. So those are my last 2.
You know what I love about hip hop? Hip hop will make niggas get saved for 72 hours. Like, I remember when Eazy-E died on Morgan's campus, we was like, yo, fuck that. We ain't having sex no more, y'all. Like, that's over. And then, I mean, of course, that shit wore off in 72 hours. And we was right back to our ways. I felt like with Basic Instructions Before Leaving Earth, I'll never forget that. Like, everybody was reading their Bible. Everybody was like all in their Bible for like 72 hours. And then we went right back on. Like, hip hop will change you for 72 hours. It's like some Cinderella shit. Like, you know, before the strike midnight on the 3rd night. But those are like 2 things that I remember. Like, niggas like, yo, who got a Bible? It's like, yo, are we really doing Bible study on a Friday? Right. Hip hop will have you pulling out the Bible. It will have you not having sex. It will, you know, and I commend our culture for being able to do that. Prayerfully, it will last a little bit longer, but, you know, hey, I'll take 72 hours. Well, because in them 72 hours, somebody didn't get no diseases or get pregnant. So I'm not going to shun those 72 hours. Right, what's good with you? What you got for your last joints?
I got last 2 songs. I got Nas Undying Love. That's on the I Am John. That's he come home from vacation and catches girl cheating on him. Makes him, you know, everything ensues, makes a mistake and shoot her, and then kills herself before the police comes in. Good story, real descriptive, you know what I'm saying? Like, Nas a real good storyteller. So I like that genre. And Beanie Siegel, Feel It in the Air.
I love
that song is crazy. The video captures. Yes, yo. The video captures the essence of that song, man. And that's, I mean, all of us, we can relate to that, man. And that kind of just like, I want to say like paranoid feeling, man, when you know, just betrayal and who not being able to trust people. It was good, man. The video just made it that much more better, the song. So I'm gonna go with Feel It in the Air, see.
Yeah, and shout to Heavy D for that joint too, for producing that joint. That's probably one of my most shocking, like, yo, Heavy D did that? Like, cause that don't sound like, you know, if you tell me Heavy D produced something, I'm expecting to be something up-tempo, dancing, something like that. So when I heard that, and what makes the song even more amazing is it's a slow song. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Most times, you know, people don't love those, but when Siegel is spitting on it, I'm telling you, yo, when Siegel we talking 2001, 2002 BET. We're talking about one of the dopest MCs, period. You know what I mean? Another career cut short. JR, what you got for your last joints?
Well, I'm gonna do this one I'm gonna say "Come to My Garden" by Minnie Riperton. That album, like if you listen to that album, you really feel like you're in like the seasons, flowers, all this kind of stuff. You know what I'm saying? Even though she's talking about love, you know what I mean, and she's putting it towards.
Hey man, Minnie was a freaky chick, man.
She was absolutely yes.
Because if you listen to Inside My Love, you be blushing, bro. Whoa.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
You talk about Inside My Love. I'm like, yo, is my mind just dirty, or is she saying come inside?
Yes.
She's saying that. Yes.
I mean, I know she's saying that, but is she saying that? Like, is she saying that? Are you telling me to, or are you not? Y'all not pinning this on me. Y'all not pinning this on me.
I'll go to jail. I'll go to jail with you.
So we talking about that? Let's keep going. And then when I go that far, it started in that corner right there. That's where it started with. And I was just like, it's like a game of Taboo. Like once you say the word, I can say like, oh, going there. But we are going there. It's not that show. I apologize.
You said so. Are you asking me to? Like, you want me to?
Right. Like we get pregnant tonight? Like okay. We didn't talk about this. We didn't talk about this before the show. Okay, cool. Well,
right.
It'll be my decision if I want to, but you're telling me to. Cool. What you said,
Jim? She is saying, "Come to my garden," so you can take that how you want.
Everybody else is like, let's go to her garden and plant pastas for the
That's what
summer
you
coming.
think.
Cool.
Okay, I'm done. Yes, but many ripples to come to my garden. That's mine. I'm done.
That's what we need to talk about. We need to do a show about songs that
Yeah.
You know I'm going, bro.
You thought it was talking about something else. We're talking about something totally different.
Like Rain. FWB Rain.
I will be the first again to say it took me a couple listeners to know what downtown was about. You know, I'm like, well, where we going downtown? We going down Pittsburgh Market? We going downtown Brooklyn?
Too. She did. She thought they were going shopping.
There you go. So,
wow.
She did. She was like, when she first heard the demo, everybody like, whoa, and she like, I don't get it. I'm what? And they like, yo, downtown. Like, and she like, oh, that's what it is.
Right. All right. The only two I had left up, which is funny because I actually want this to become like a rap battle. The wrap up that Skills does every year. I thought that was incredible when he first started doing it. Now Uncle Murder does it. Now those two are beefing. Like, yo, I'm like, yo, let's do a year in like battle. Like, yo, let's go. Like, I want to see this. Because Skills is like Uncle Murder threw a shot at him, and Skills is like, nigga, but you bite my shit. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I was doing that. Like, it could be up to somebody's opinion on who does it better, but I mean, you basically took what I was doing, you know, type thing. You know, so, but I thought that was a dope concept because I'm like, I can't keep up, especially in this social media world. I can't keep up with what happened in this month, let alone. So I'm just like, yo, Skills, what do? Do you just start off in January, start writing like everything down, and then do you got a crew of people who kind of keep up with everything or whatever like that? And just before somebody says, I don't believe nobody said this, I Gave You Power by Nas. Incredible song, you know what I mean? Kind of follows up with what Organized did with Straight Bullet. Kind of like Porsche, you know, I was in the boat of, you know, I wish you didn't start the song off with like, I wish I was, it's like I'm a gun. You know, if you would have just spit it and let it go. So dope concept joints, very dope. We talked about doing a pop-up sports show. So,
wait, I have one more concept joint that I have to mention. I cannot sleep tonight if I don't mention it.
Oh, man.
It's Troy. It's Troy.
Yeah.
I'm saving my favorite for last. And
imagine if Porsche really couldn't sleep. Like, imagine if she just like.
I would literally call all of you and be like, "You guys, I just have to say Troy."
Timeline would have been jumping, and Porsche the only one up talking about she can't sleep.
Anyways, Troy, and I'm laughing, but Troy is actually it's a somber song. It's not uplifting and it's not joyous by any means. But everything, that song, for some reason, even though it's rooted in a passing of T-Roy, like, and the lyrics aren't that, uplifting either. It's kind of about, CL talking about teenage motherhood of his mom and stuff. Somehow that song just makes my heart happy. I don't know how weird that is or how Pete Rock and CL were able to do that, but that's a brilliant song. I feel like it just gets better over the years. I don't know if that's just me because I just love it so much, but Troy.
I think it gets better. I think kind of takes me back to that part of I'm Gonna Get You Sucker, where he's like, every hero needs his theme music. Like in hip hop, we need our theme music. So I think it gets better because it's a song about a passing of a loved one. So as we grow older and we lose more people, I think we lean on that song. It's kind of like Summertime with Jazzy Jeff and Fresh Prince. Like that's the staple. Like that, if you're doing a black cookout and you don't play Summertime, like I don't want to be at your cookout. Like that's the song that. So I think like parts of hip hop need those theme songs, and I think that's what kind of like, Peaceful Journey. I think like that's what Troy is built in. So it's kind of just like that's your go-to song. Like if somebody dies, you may put on Troy. If you're thinking of somebody who passed, you put on Troy. So I think that's why it just, it holds a different place than when I first heard it when I was 16. You know what I mean? At 47 than it did when I first heard. When I heard it at 16, I'm like, yo, these horns are crazy and this beat is crazy and this is a dope song. But throughout the years, it means so much more as you lose people around you. So I definitely feel what you're saying about that. All right. We got some time left before Porsche got to dip out on us. We did our concepts. Rel, this is what I need you to do, bro. I need you to teach a show on how to let shit go. Because I got these goddamn Ben Simmons fans that won't leave me alone. They won't leave me alone. And I don't get it. Because it's literally like, and I'm like, me and Rel argue all the time. But we just leave it alone and we walk away.
They can't, man. They can't.
We all know Porsche does not like Drake. Why would anybody follow Porsche to just be like, why don't you like Drake? Why don't it would just become an irritant after a while because
and people do that.
But why?
I don't get it, man.
So, bro, I need you to teach a class. I don't know if you want a PowerPoint presentation on how to disagree and keep it moving. I don't know how we do this, but I need you to that could be your pinned tweet. Like, do it in your clothing line so you promote the clothing line and you're helping people understand how you can walk away. But what it is, so let's do this, Porsche. I know you watch ball, but do you have any investment in this year's playoffs? Any team?
You know what? I don't. I just love LeBron. So, that's just.
You better watch. You better watch tonight.
Yeah,
that would be the final show of this year. So.
So no, I'm not really invested in this playoff season. So you guys I'm definitely here for your commentary because I have pulled up to all of your TLs over the last week and a bit, and I'm absolutely entertained. I love it.
I haven't seen stands like this since Mad Comedy. I have not seen people. It's in my text groups. But I'll get into my Ben Simmons things later. Burn, Atlanta, second round. Open and honestly, where did you think you guys were going to be at the beginning of this year?
With the team we had, I felt that we would make the playoffs. Okay. And then, you remember we had what's my man? The two dudes that got the podcast on sports.
You got you're talking about Fabian and B.
Fabian them. You remember they were on the show, and I went off. I was like, man, if they don't get rid of this Mr. Potato Head from Philly,
right?
We got the talent.
Just keep in mind, Lloyd Pierce is not from Philly. He just
he was on the Philly staff.
Just on our staff, yeah.
On staff, yeah. Out there to understand that there's not a 215 thing. That he just had.
Yeah. And as soon as we got rid of him, want to say Nate McMillan went 31-12 with the same team. Now, mind you, there were some injuries, but it's just the mindset. And I put it on my tweet today. The Hawks broadcaster talked about why Trey didn't make the U.S. junior team or the All-Star team, because Lloyd Pierce threw shade. If Lloyd Pierce showed his face in Atlanta, yes, you look on my, I'll repost it.
Okay.
If he show his face in Atlanta, bro, he gonna catch some bowls for real. He sabotaged the team, man. So,
wow.
Yeah. So we started off the season. I felt that we would make the playoffs. This is what I'll say. If Ben Simmons, if Embiid plays, Embiid plays, most people don't know our team. They don't know that we got 8 or 9 people that could get 20.
Yep.
So they automatically go by the name. That's how I can't stand casual NBA fans. They just go by the names. Okay, I've heard of Embiid. I heard of Simmons. They gonna kill Atlanta, bruh. It ain't gonna be what you think if Embiid plays. And if he hurt, hey man, I ain't saying we gonna beat Philly, but I ain't saying we gonna lose. So that's my thing. And last thing, as we on this show, some fool put on Twitter, if the Clippers blow up this offseason, the most interesting Paul George trade, I think, is to Atlanta. Atlanta get Paul George. The Hawks give up Cam Reddish, DeAndre Hunter, Onyeka Okongwu, and John Collins on the sign and trade, and a first round pick. Nigga, is you smoking angel dust?
I think it's that, bro. But I think too, it's like you said, and I'll be the first to admit, during the season, I'm keyed into the Sixers. So I really don't know. That's why I'm asking people, who's the unicorn board for the Hawks? For the Knicks. Like, I don't give up with other people. So I think for a lot of people, it's kind of just like, well, to me, if you want Paul George if they lose again, I don't know why anybody would want Paul George with that contract.
Why would you want Paul George? But also, why would you give up a second-year player, a second-year player that's about to average like 18? He's the new kind of Kawhi Leonard. And, DeAndre Hunter is a problem. Onyeka Okongwu, a rookie that's like 6'10", block shots and stuff. John Collins and a first round pick. Are you crazy? Because y'all, I can't stand people that I want a name. And the Atlanta sports teams were famous for this for years, and I'm glad we stopped doing this. Like the Falcons did. You go get Todd Gurley after he got 400,000 miles on him because you heard of his name. No, we want players. We got players that are making names for themselves. So it's gonna be fun. And it ain't gonna be the cakewalk that people think. I'm taking pictures of a lot of the. See, I like JR. I like Eddie. I like my Knicks fans who were realistic with it. But then you had these stupid. Oh, it's gonna be Madison Square Garden South. Yeah, okay. And then it's
you see, I ain't even like that. I was like, y'all doing too much, y'all.
It's Sixers fans that's popping off crazy. And I'm just taking pictures of them, and I got like an inbox of like 12 Hawk diehards. I'm like, hey man, here go the receipts. Just save them. Just save them.
Here's the thing that I've learned, fam. Here's the thing that I've learned, and that's why I love me and Rel's relationship, because I feel like we're a middle ground between these two things. I feel like you have the fans who are honest about what they think they can do. Living here in DC, I hear it, but then you have the fans who are just, no matter what happens, it's the greatest thing ever. Yep. You know what I mean? Like, every year I see people in DC, we gonna win the Super Bowl. Really? Like, nigga, are you like there's no realistic thought process to it.
Right.
It's like, we're winning the Super Bowl. I'll never forget when the Knicks guy, y'all got Jeff Hornacek. And I had Knicks fans talking about, that's a great hire. And I'm like, Jeff Hornacek? The other white nigga from Utah. And I remember you asked me. And I was like, the second white nigga? Like, most times you no. Who's the first white nigga from Utah? Like John Stockton. No, the other white nigga. White nigga. I was like, I'm not feeling that bitch. I'm not feeling that. Like, I used to joke and be like, there are Knicks fans that you be like, we're gonna hire a pigeon to coach y'all next year. And niggas would be like, dope. Because that pigeon's from Brooklyn, and that's right across the hole. So that pigeon understands the game. It's like, y'all hired that pigeon. So you have those fans, and it's just like, so I'm with you, bro. I definitely thought this year, I definitely saw a shift for us. this torn whatever it is that Embiid got. Bro, how do you feel about that? Do you feel like he can? I'm hearing that he may need to sit this whole second round. They may not want to play
a torn meniscus. Yeah,
and even though it's a slight tear, I'm like, it's still torn.
Bruh.
Like,
it's a small tear. It's not the size of the tear; it's where it's located on the meniscus. So his must be located in a way that it wasn't catastrophic.
Yeah.
Because they had him out there warming up and working out before the game. You wouldn't do that. You would not do that. There's a lot of football players that I know for a fact played through torn meniscus. However, basketball, you're cutting
lateral movement.
Lateral movement. So it's gonna be interesting to see what happens with that. I thought this was our year to get a chip, you know what I'm saying? And then this happened. So I need to see that first. As far as dealing with Atlanta, they're always like an annoying team to play. Like I was happy to get the Wizards series over because they're annoying. Like Bill is so good, he's annoying. Westbrook is annoying. Rui Hachimura is annoying.
Like
I feel you.
You just look up and they still.
I'm just like what? Like he's still playing. Like come on, like so. I was glad to get it over. Atlanta has a team full of annoying people when you're not a fan of them. So I think it's gonna be annoying and difficult. I think with a healthy Embiid, I think we would definitely beat them. With Embiid on this level, I think some people gonna have to step up like they did last night. The thing I'll need to see is who guards Trae Young and who Trae Young guards.
The only person I can see Trae guarding is Curry.
Curry, he probably will get. Well, no, we wouldn't put Curry on him.
We putting Trae on Curry.
Trae would check Curry. I would put Matisse Thybulle on him. That would probably be the person. It's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be very interesting, man. We need, the Ben Simmons we had last night, Tobias as well, and that kid Maxey, man,
he's a spark.
I
think if I'm Philly, I just want to sit him be maybe through these first two games, even if we go down 0-2, just to give him as much time to rest or whatever as comfortable. I'm hoping we can still win. You know what I mean?
At home, still won. You know what I'm saying? Still won. That's why I need the Knicks to prolong the series so we'd had a break.
Exactly. That's my beef with y'all. I needed y'all to go 7 games to tie these niggas down. Now goddamn Steph Curry.
To the two dudes that only go left.
Right. That's all.
Julius Randle,
here's the thing.
Man.
Your best player cannot be the most improved player in the league.
Agreed.
I said that. I said that
did.
from the break. I was like, why are we even depending on him? Like, he's not a number 1 option or 2, to be honest.
Nope,
like,
he's not.
And then if we depended on him and he's not scoring, we're done. Like, and then you can't give it to Derrick Rose because he's older, so he's gonna get tired.
Tibbs ran that boy in the ground, and I'm looking forward to seeing Derrick Rose in the Hawks uniform next year to spell Trae Young for 10 or 15 minutes. But
What you say, Ron?
Randall reminds me of that dude who was dominating like in junior high because he was just bigger than everybody. And then when he got to high school or dominating in high school, he was a 6'7" post in high school, but then he get to college and the wings are 6'7", and that ain't gonna work.
And that's what I kept saying on my timeline. I was like, he just showed he's not bright light ready, like at all. Like, you for 3 games straight, damn near the whole series, you was complete ass. Like, dude, I'm like, and then of course our fans is going, well, he was taking bad shots. No, the fuck, nigga, drive. Like, what's that? You big as shit. Like, what are you doing?
It don't work like that though. Yeah. Like, here's the thing. When you get to
for everybody watching, Rec is the resident baller. Rec looks like he's 5'8". Rec is like 6'9". So he's the resident baller and everything on here.
When you get to that level, like, you have specific things that the team looks at for you to do, and if they're looking for him to score and he ain't scoring, the coach gonna be like, keep shooting, we good, because that's why he getting money. That's what they're paying them. They're paying people to score or to rebound or whatever. They're not gonna bring Boo Boo the Fool off the bench to go do any of that, because it's not what they want to do. I agree with you. I think after he took 2 bad shots. One shot he didn't take. It was 3-point line extended, and it was a perfect look. All you had to do was pull it.
Yeah.
He gave a jab step, and by that time, what's the white boy that y'all got for the Knicks?
From
New York. He's from New York.
Herder.
He closed out. He was there.
Yep.
All I got to do is get an arm's length away from me. That's all I need. I just got to contest it. He closed out. The second time the ball got swung, he was corner extended. He took a fucking fadeaway jumper. He made it, but that's a bad shot. The problem, you hit the nail on the head. They don't have a bucket getter.
Nope.
They don't have a Uzi.
And that's when I knew. Game 3, I was like, it's a wrap.
They need a Trae Young, somebody who's gonna get a clip. They need a guy like that. And then everyone else can set the offense around that. When you don't have that, you have what you saw. Stagnant offense. Motherfuckers ain't scoring for 30 minutes. And the Hawks is just running up and down the court with a bunch of 6'10" guys who are skilled. The difference between the Hawks and the Wizards, the Hawks are skilled, annoying players.
Yes.
The Wizards are just a bunch of annoying fucking rookies and people you ain't never heard of. The Hawks got a bunch of skilled, annoying players that are gonna D you up. They long, they linky. They don't give 2 fucks because ain't nobody counted them in.
Right.
Nope.
And they don't have anything to prove.
Right.
At all. And they all are young. Who's the oldest player on the Hawks?
Outside of
Gallinari.
Yeah, Gallinari. But our core, Capella is 27. All the Hunter.
No.
Water, all
27.
of 23, 24. Yeah.
27.
Hold on for 1 second. Porsche, I don't want to leave you out. Who do you have in the game tonight? You have the Suns winning or you got the Lakers finishing it out?
Don't ask me that. I don't know. I'm gonna say the Lakers winning, obviously.
Because Portland just went home. Portland just went home.
That's why you see me over here shaking my fucking head like.
They went home?
Yeah,
they actually just the arena because they was playing at home.
I was actually just looking at my NBA app to see what was going on, but yeah.
Now here's a question somebody asked me. At this point, you're Dame Lillard. Now, of course, Dame said, "I'm not ring chasing. I'm not doing any of those things." So let me ask y'all: if you're Dame, I don't think there's nothing else he can do.
No,
you know what I mean. You couldn't even beat a Denver team without Jamal Murray.
Right.
So, But here's my thing: you don't have to join a super team. You know what I mean? Like, and that's a question I want to ask. So somebody was asking me in my text group, like, "Yo, do you think Philly has a big 3?" And I said no, because in my eyes, I define a big 3 as what Miami had, what Brooklyn had, what Boston had, and what I mean by that is Bron was the main player on his team, Wade was the main player on his team, Bosh was the main player. Like Ben Simmons or Tobias Harris could not be the number one player on their team. People even talk about Milwaukee got a big 3. I'm like, Chris Middleton.
They really don't.
No, they don't.
You have a superstar and you have 2 good players, but now everybody's just throwing this, it's a big 3. I'm like, LeBron don't even have a big 3. It's him and AD. That's it.
Right.
I think that's why Philly is doing good. The days, I think we're about to see the end of that stuff.
I'm so glad.
It's teams.
I'm sick of them big 3s and shit. Like,
that's why Philly is clicking, because people know what they're supposed to do. I mean, people are advocating for John Collins. They need to get him more looks. No, they don't. Some games he gonna get 20, some he gonna get 12, but he gonna get 11 rebounds or whatever. We need players who's gonna do whatever they need to do to win that game. Screw all that other stuff, man. I'm ready for that Bron, super team, KD. And all.
But we just got it. We just got one 3 months ago. So it's like,
but I don't see that being sustainable. I don't see it to be being sustainable. You know. But as volatile and as head Casey as some of the guys on Brooklyn I don't see that just being sustainable.
Nope.
Oh, in Brooklyn, like
too big-headed.
What do you give him? 3 years together?
I want to say.
Did he have 3 or 4 years together?
I give him 2.
They had 4. They had
4 years.
Yeah, they had 4. I wouldn't say that the Brooklyn setup, those guys are big-headed. I would just say you got some weird motherfuckers.
That's what I'm saying.
On that team. That's what I'm saying. Big-headedness is where ego can come into play. And I'll just put the name out there. Fuck it. Kyrie.
Yep.
Kyrie, I don't have any problems with him on or off
his
the
game.
Court. I got no problems with him on or off the court. But when you're talking about corporate and you don't run the corporation and you doing certain things and somebody else writes your check, they can do what they need to do with you. Mm-hmm. I'm not saying what he's doing he needs to stop or mind what he's doing, but he needs to be cognizant of how it can get looked at by other people and where it can lead him. I think that team could have longevity. I think they're friends. And I think they get along well. Everyone knows their role. I like the fact that Harden will pull his clip out when needed. Mm-hmm. KD, ain't shit you gonna do with KD. No. Get that man the ball, get the fuck out of the way. Right. Get him the ball, get the fuck out of the way. If he's taking a break and Kyrie is ISO on the left or the right side, get that man the ball, get the fuck out of the way. Harden can do all of that, but he is underrated as a passer. And people forget that. So he'll give you an easy 20 by going to the line 10 times and taking 6 shots, but dropping 25 dimes. And you're like, how in the fuck did this happen? It's because he don't have to shoot the ball with this team. Houston, he had to shoot the ball. Yeah. He ain't got to shoot the ball with this team. He got shooters, and he got people around him to where he can be easy with it. My bad, Killer.
There are 2 things that still haunt me. Taking Markelle Fultz.
Yeah.
Like
who was the second guy? You came out.
Why not taking Harden? Yeah. Why?
It was like, nah, we don't want to trade Ben Simmons for James Harden. I'm like, are you fucking crazy?
Oh, that wasn't gonna happen. That wasn't.
No, I mean, I know it wasn't gonna happen. Now that we see that Houston didn't mess with Morey like that and all of that, but I know because Philly was ready to pull the trigger. Philly had already told Ben's agent, "You're getting traded."
Wow.
Oh, are you serious?
They told him they were about to trade him, but Houston never called back.
Yeah, because of Daryl Morey. With Daryl Morey being there, it was like, fuck no. It's like, fuck no, we ain't doing that.
Hey, Kill, here's my question for Philly. Much respect. If Embiid can't go, are y'all depending on Ben to get y'all 30 a game and 14
points?
Yes.
Like the Knicks, please.
No. Listen. That's not. Here's a problem.
Listen, before we open the Ben Simmons can, I'll just say because I gotta go anyway, and I can't wait to watch this later.
All right, Pete. Love you, Pete. See you later,
guys. So good to see all of you. Take care. Bye.
I'll let Rel go first with that.
No, he's not that type of player where he's gonna score 30 points on the regular. What they need from him, I would say statistic wise, is 18 to 20 points. They need triple doubles out of him. Like that's what they need. Triple doubles out of him, good defense, and him to just be aggressive and attack the basket. He's not a 30. For them to win without Embiid, they rely on a team effort, to be honest. Which is why Maxey coming in like that gives them something that they don't really have. Gives them what they thought Markelle Fultz was going to be.
Right.
a young, quick guy that can go get his own shot.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So with Ben, I mean, he started at the 5 last game, and he gave him 20, 11, and 10, which is good. 19, 11, and 10, something like that. But as far as 30 and all that, no, he doesn't shoot the ball enough to do that.
Mm-hmm.
And he doesn't shoot. And I was explaining to Kill a while ago, like me as a coach and a person who played, pulling up for a jump shot, everybody has like a rhythm to how they do it. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Like, so me, if I'm catching, I want to pull up, I always go between my legs, hesitate, and pull up. That's just like, gets me in the rhythm to get my shot off.
Right.
Ben Simmons is 6'10", and he plays straight up. He plays really high. So he doesn't even, whoever's training him, they haven't put him in because he doesn't even look right in the mode to get, like if he was a pull up, it would look funny because he's so like upright. And he's like,
he ain't playing well.
And
I know what you're saying.
They haven't worked with him to get him in like when you watch him play, I don't see many times where he should have pulled up and shot the ball because he's not. It's just not natural for him. Like I don't get like whoever works out with him, they haven't put that in his game. You know what I'm saying? Like he's just too upright.
I'm gonna make a bad joke.
I'm gonna make one right now. I'm gonna give you an example of what Rail talking about. Try to take a shit standing up.
Yeah,
that's what he's saying. When you're going to the hole and you're reading what the defense is doing. If they're playing it to where they're not giving you the rack and you're like, oh, I'm gonna pull up. You're already a low to the ground because you're dribbling to dribble past somebody. You should be lower than their shoulder or their midsection so that you can get around them. If you're standing and you can still see over that motherfucker, that's a problem. You can't pull up because you need your legs. You need to be able to jump over them regardless if you're 6'10" or not. Ben does not have the small attributes of a jump shooter that it takes to be able to score the way that Rel is saying. Think about it. He got to take 15 layups to score 30. I ain't let that fool go to the hole twice. And he can't shoot free throws. So
the game he scored 40, he just kept going to the basket. He just it was Embiid was out. That was the first time we played Utah. He just kept.
They were talking shit.
They had Rudy Gobert checking him. Yeah. So he's like, 7-foot center, bye. Just kept going to the basket. That's how he scores, and that's.
Quick question: did we win that game?
We lost that. We lost it. It was close. We lost that game. Yeah.
See, that's why I like John Collins and Hunter. I mean, 6'9", 6'10", that can get on the wing. And the joke I was gonna make is, does Ben even have a trainer? Because like
he does.
I know he does. I'm messing with you. Go ahead, Kill.
Here's the crazy thing, man. If we remember last year, people were saying, "Yo, who do we get rid of, Embiid or Simmons?" Because they're both a problem. We were saying Embiid. People were saying Embiid can't stay in shape. He's not serious about his regimen. He doesn't eat right. All these things that was Ben. It was this big back and forth. I feel like Embiid came back and he put all of that talk to rest. Nobody has anything negative to say about Joel Embiid this year. Nope. And I know we live in the present, so it's hard to remember. But last year, every day on ESPN, on everything, it was, who do you get rid of, Ben or Joel? A year later, that wouldn't even be a question of who you get rid of, because Joel has come back, and anything that there was negative about him, he solved that. My beef is Ben has come back with the same shit we were complaining about a year ago. So I was in the barbershop and I said, my guy, if your sister is married to a dude and they're both not working, and then your sister goes out and she gets 2 jobs and she's carrying that house on her back, how you feel about her husband? Or you gonna be like, nigga, you need to step the fuck up too. You see my sister working her ass off, you need to work your ass off too. And that's all I want from Ben. I just want him to do the same. I don't want the same complaints about a person. It's like being in a marriage and every year you got the same complaints. Well, then either we don't need to be married or we gonna work on these complaints. But you can't have the same complaints. So to answer your question, Vern, now I don't expect, because that's not Ben's game. Ben's game, I'm a Maya Angelou fan with the whole, when people show you who they are, believe them. Ben has showed us who he is. Ben, my beef with Ben is I don't think he's willing to work hard enough. Ben could literally be one of the best basketball players ever. I believe that in my heart of heart. That if he had the Mamba mentality, if he had 50% of Kobe,
man, if he had the garter snake mentality, he would.
Like, he literally, because people are still telling me 6 years later, yo, he just one jump shot away, nigga. Like, dog, it's not. That's not him, and that's my only beef. My only beef is that I just believe he's one of these NBA players who is content. To me, he's the type of player who would get better if this was an NFL contract with like bonuses. Yeah. Like, if you lead the league, if you take so many jumpers, we'll give you extra money. But you giving him a guaranteed contract, you can forget about it. He's totally content. Because here's the thing, and for people who don't watch Sixers basketball, I get it. But if you watch, a reporter asked him last year something about your jump shot or your 3-point shot. He was like, "I'm an all-star, right?" And it was like, if that is your answer to what about getting better in this thing, if your answer is I'm an all-star, that tells me all I need to know. If your wife is saying, yo, I'm not feeling you, nigga, and you like, bitch, I bring the food home. Shut up.
See, and that's why I'm glad that Trey has been doubted since he was in high school, since he went to college. He played one summer league game and they said he was a bust. They stubbed him on the all-star team. And it was the perfect thing, bro, for the confidence of our young team to go into Madison Square Garden and face people cussing out at him, all that stuff. Nigga, y'all are creating a monster. And
that's why I really didn't want to play the Hawks, to be honest. I didn't want
to be his first playoff series in Madison Square Garden. And I heard some crazy stat, like he was 30 a game with some.
Yes, 30 a game.
He went on.
Like you said,
the only other player to do that is Jordan.
Right, like, and somebody said on ESPN today, he was like, while Steph Curry wants to be the angel, Trey don't have a problem being the devil. He don't have a problem. Steph want everybody to like him, and Steph Trey don't got no problem with being the hated one. But to me, that you've got to have that chip on your shoulder, and I just want the 30 for 30 one day on what's up with Ben Simmons. Like, why from the time, I don't know if y'all saw the Showtime documentary at LSU, he didn't make March Madness, he was happy. And that showed me something about his character there. Like, yo, who in college doesn't want to play March Madness? No. Who doesn't want to get to the tournament? What player does not? What you gonna say, bro?
All right. So a couple things. The LSU thing, he didn't even want to go to college. Like, he didn't even want to go. So that was the reason why he was like that. Like, it really wasn't like, oh, I don't want to play, I don't care. It's like, I'm playing here. Yeah, I'm not going to class. You know what I'm saying? So I think that played a part in it. I think, and I say this to kill. I think the Ben Simmons thing is no middle ground with people. It's like people on all the way on one side and all the way on the other side, and I'm in the middle because I appreciate some of the things that he does do well, and it will be interesting to see what's in his mind, because somebody that plays, like, when I watch him play, it's not like you see that he's not playing hard or he don't care. Like, I don't think that's a fair assessment. You know what I'm saying? Somebody that played defense like that does care, and I don't know if I don't
think he doesn't care on the floor. I feel like he doesn't care to get better. In the offseason, what are you doing? There was a year when he said, you know what? I'm going to hire my brother as my shooting coach. And I'm like, wait a second. Your brother, your blood brother, who has lived with you your whole life, is a shooting coach, yet you don't know how to shoot. Like, let that just sink in for 1 second. That you don't know how to shoot. Your brother is a shooting coach. Like, that statement alone sounds stupid. If I'm your PR, it's like, nigga, we doing practice now? How you gonna tell? That just sounds stupid. Then even when you get your brother, you still aren't shooting. You drop these videos every summer. You leak these videos of you looking like Klay Thompson, taking fadeaway jumpers and doing all this thorough shit, and you do this or a year to only come into the season and not take one of those shots? What was the point of showing us that you could take those shots to not take them?
So your problem with him is he doesn't shoot jumpers.
No. My problem with him is that I don't believe he wants to get better. That is my problem with him.
Here go my thing. How does your point card?
Real quick, Vern. You know what this is? Yeah. This is the nigga who's talking all that shit to the girl. Oh, I'm gonna beat it up. I'm old girl. You gotta see what I'm gonna do. Oh, you gonna see me? And get in there and be done in 30 seconds. And then he does it a year later, like, oh, you gotta see my video. Look at this porn tape. Look at me go. Then the season starts. It's like, well, nigga, what would be the point of me making all these crazy beats, and then you hear the album and you be like, damn, Kill, where was those beats? Because I want those beats. Like, why are you showing me this, which you can do, but then you don't do it? Because if we go back and watch all them videos that's been in the summer, he's hitting some shots. He's looking good. So then why are you showing us that if that's not your game? You see what I mean? That's another problem. Why are you showing me something, but then telling me don't expect it? That makes no sense to me. If you don't take jumpers, you don't ever show me a video of you taking jumpers.
I don't understand how a point guard can shoot 25% from the free throw line. I mean,
it's because he's 6'10".
That's true.
He ain't nothing but his father at 6'10", yo. Let's get real. He is his father at 6'10". The problem is, like Rel said, his game is not. He's not a scorer at that height for what he needs to do.
Time out for 1 second. I got you. But answer this question. Then why do you leak videos of you being a scorer every summer?
Because he got bad fucking PR.
This is at 47.
Who's he scoring on?
Huh?
Who's he scoring on?
I joke about it. I joke about him being at the 40 and over.
He's scoring on Marlon Wayans' character when he was Dean Hardison's brother in the Ghost Joint.
Right, but here's my thing. It shouldn't matter who he's scoring on, because what you're telling me is that's not his game. But then what he's showing is I can do this. You know why he leaks those videos? To shut people like me up. That's why he does it. Somebody in his camp is saying, yo, just because if we watch, I wish I could pull one up right now. He's hitting turnaround jumpers. He's coming right down, shooting threes. He's the Kill, you don't be at the game.
That shit don't mean nothing.
He be practicing threes. You're doing all of this, but then when the game starts, you don't do it.
I used to have players like that on my team.
If that's not your game, then you should not show me, because what you're showing me is you can't do it. See, this is like Menace to Society, where you know you done fucked up.
Yeah.
Because if you want to tell me that's not your game, then don't drop a video every summer of you showing me you can do it.
Yeah.
Because if you show me you can't do it, if Naomi shows me you can get all A's, what the fuck am I gonna expect? C's? No, I'm gonna expect all A's, because you have shown me. You have shown me that you can get all A's. But then when the school year comes, now you get all C's. What parent is not gonna be frustrated by it?
They're gonna flip out.
If you're not all A's doing, that's cool. Then be all C's. Just stay. Just keep it going. But that's my thing. So Rel, tell me, how do you think why would somebody drop a video of them showing themselves being able to score, but then when the year starts, they don't score?
I mean, for one, I feel like he tried to work on the stuff, man. I just think it's a mental thing, man. I feel like he tried to work on it. Yeah. Because
and that's what I mean by 30 for 30, because I do think it's mental.
Right. Yeah. And I don't like, you know what I'm saying, I don't think he like soft. Like, it's been described like soft. And to certain, when I go back and forth with certain people, and I don't think that's a fair assessment. And you know, like with Kill, I see Kill comment on Ben Simmons all the time, and I don't say nothing until I feel like Rollo.
When I'm a habitual,
when I feel like I'm like, come on, dog. So, but
can I explain the he's weak thing? What I meant by that is I believe in. Nobody knows. Just my assessment. I think he's weak-minded as a player. And what I mean, and maybe the word weak-minded isn't right. What I mean by that is, by me working, and bro, I'm sure you know, when Vern, you have kids, and Breck, you have kids, I can't talk to everybody the same.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And my mother-in-law taught me that. She was like, the way I talk to Tanya, I could never talk to her little sister like that. That would crush her spirit. She could be crushed. There's nothing wrong with Tanya's little sister. She ain't weak. It's just she can't take. I have friends. I have grown men that I cannot just be like, nigga, get the fuck off the couch and get a job. I can't be like that to them because that would just push them deeper in the couch. So I got to be like, hey, man, come on, man. Why don't we do this, guy? Hey, man, I'll help work on your resume. I don't think there's anything weak about that person. So maybe I shouldn't use the term weak, but I feel like what Doc Rivers does is if Doc says, I believe if you turn off the lights and turn off the cameras, Doc Rivers be cursing Ben Simmons the fuck out. That's probably. I don't believe he's sitting there because Doc, I've never seen a coach come up with a player stat at a podium before. When people be shitting on Ben, because here's the thing, I'm not the only one. The whole fucking city of Philadelphia shits on this nigga. So when the whole city of Philadelphia shitting on him, and he's just like, y'all don't know basketball. Y'all, did you know Ben Simmons leads the leagues in assists, leading the 3-pointers? It's like, what coach sits up there and has to give the goddamn press stats? And they're irrelevant stats. When do we start caring about who leads the league in assists to 3-pointers? I come up in here, all we care about is who lead the league in assists. Like, y'all think
that's an irrelevant stat?
No, I don't.
No, what I mean by irrelevant,
a player
bro,
of Ben Simmons' stature.
When did we ever hear that stat before? When did that stat?
It's these new stats. He's the first player that had on Red Sox from Iowa who scored 6 points. You know, in the third quarter after Ace and Tracy Lee.
I don't think that's one of those stats.
The only stats that matter were who led the league in scoring, who led the league in rebounding, who led the league in assists, who led the league in. I feel like where we're at now is where everybody get a trophy. 50 people in a race, everybody get a trophy. That's the way stats are
now. Anyway,
here's the thing: Ben Simmons, and I was just in the text group. You know where Ben Simmons ranks in assists? 15. Nigga, if you can't score, nigga, you got to be at least in the top 5 in assists. You are 15 in assists, so you can't score, and you're 15 in assists. God damn, nigga, if you can't score, you got to at least be top 5. Fucking Dame Lillard averages more assists than Ben Simmons. I swear Dame Lillard shoot the ball every damn time he get it. How Dame Lillard got more assists than Ben Simmons? So that's what I meant by I feel like he's weak. Everybody, I mean, and I'm not saying these journalists know anything. I'm just saying that it's like I feel like Doc is doing what he has to do. He's protecting his player, which you should do.
Yes, you
have to protect your player.
Yeah.
I'm not. Right. What I'm just saying is, it's just like I get mad like when Robert Horry is like, "Oh, take Ben out the game." Would you take Shaq out the game? First of all, Shaq could give you 30 with his eyes closed. So no, you can't take Shaq out the game. So stop trying to compare two people just because they can't make free throws. Like, that's the thing.
I got you. That makes sense.
I totally agree.
Here's a question though. Have you watched us play this year when he didn't play? And how not together we look when he didn't play? So I don't. Let's not act like
he is a great facilitator. I think he's a great facilitator with the ball.
So if we struggle without him on the court, like he can't be this bum everybody making him out to be. You know what I'm saying? Like,
and I said this. I never called him a bum. I think he's a 3 mic player. I don't think is a 3 mic album a whack album. No. That's a. I think he's a good player. I think he maybe even be a 3.5 player. But again, I'm always going to come under the pretense of you were the number 1 draft pick. That is always going to, and people will say, well, look at the other people who could have got drafted that year. Nigga, I don't give a fuck. You were the number 1 draft pick. If you're magna cum laude, I don't give a fuck if you went to a school with slow people. And that's why you magna cum laude, nigga. You magna cum laude. You were the number 1 draft pick.
Oh my God.
I just feel like if you put those, if everybody closes their eyes and takes away the name Ben Simmons, and I just show you a post-it that says 15 points per game, 9 rebounds, and 6 assists, and I just give you that post-it, and I say that's your number 1 pick 5 years in their career, are you going to be happy? Yes or no?
No.
I think the problem with Ben Simmons is you got to take him off the ball. You got to play him at the 3.
You can't take him off the ball. He has no post game. If you watch his Sixers game, as soon as that ball leaves his hands, that nigga don't want no parts of that ball.
So he's a downhill scorer. He's not a 3-level scorer. He can't score at the 3. He can't score out, off of mid range. He is straight to the rack, but he is an awesome facilitator. But they need, if you're gonna keep Ben, you need a 3-level player at the 1. You have to have that. If you ain't got that at the 1, it's motherfucker. I'll wait till you get to the damn 3. I'll wait till you get to the motherfucking free throw line to guard you, because he's not gonna do shit else.
I mean, we saw it in the Knicks.
$70 million. Do you think? And again, this is bad because nobody's worth nothing in the NBA. You got a damn bench player making $8 trillion. But just in a regular world, do you think Ben Simmons is worth a max contract, $70 million? You're the GM.
Yes.
You do?
A max not a super max, a max contract.
What's the difference?
Super max is motherfuckers is getting 100 off the gate.
Super max, a max contract, like in today's NBA, a max contract, like Chris Middleton can get a max contract.
Yes.
Yeah.
What the Knicks was giving people all the fucking time.
Chris Middleton can get a max contract.
Well, let's say this. Can we go back a couple of years before everybody, when Tim Hardaway made more money than his whole father did in his career? Like that. That's crazy to me that Tim Hardaway Jr. has made more in one contract than his father did in his whole career. Like, damn, we take this back to the good old days. Yeah, that's crazy, right? That's a crazy ass stat, and that's
true.
Yeah, that's true.
God damn,
it's true. Yeah, it's definitely true.
And Tim Hardaway played from what 90 to what 2000
his
something.
Father did in his entire career. So I see what you're saying. I just think that we need something else, because even with Embiid healthy, we're gonna be rumbling Brooklyn for at least the next 2-3 years. So even with him healthy, it's kind of like they were saying with Milwaukee. Milwaukee really tooled up. They look better than they ever did. But if they can't beat Brooklyn, what do you do? How do you get better? Or do you just fall victim to Jordan? Why didn't the Knicks win? Because of Jordan. Why didn't Indiana win? Because of Jordan. Do you just fall? Will the Sixers in Milwaukee just fall into the we ran into Brooklyn? Ain't shit you could do with them.
Okay, you think
right? I hope not.
And that's the hard part, But everybody watching.
Let me ask you a question, Kill. What would be a good this series coming up? What stat wise? What would be suitable for you from Ben Simmons in this series? To be honest,
I think he'll give me what he averaged.
What would you like?
What would I like? I would
be like,
you said. I would like 20. I would like a triple double, but I don't mean a 10, 10, and 10. I mean like a 20, 10, and 10. Like that's what I would like out of him. But again, I'm now, from talking to you and other people, I've now come to explain he's not going to be able to give you 30. So. And I feel like that's why I said we're not a big three, because if KG went down in Boston, and Doc went to Paul and said, Paul, I need you to give me 35 tonight, Paul gonna be like, let's go. And he's gonna give it to you. If Wade went down and Poster said, hey, Brown, we need 40 from you tonight. Like, that's what I mean about a big three, where you're able to tell that one of those three, I need you to go above and beyond what you're doing right now. You know what I mean? It may be telling that kid who's a B student, nigga, it's your junior year. I need you to go above and beyond a B. We need scholarships, so I'm gonna need you to take that B to an A. And I just don't think Ben can do that. So,
what do you think about him defensively?
Incredible. The analogy I always give about this is, and I gotta remember, because since we're not talking hip hop, I'm thinking we're not still recording, but this is still part of the show, so I gotta keep this PG-13. And this is the thing that amazes me about Ben Simmons. I've never heard men in my life say, why aren't we giving credit for what he does do good? I swear to God, I have never heard men say that about an athlete before. If they're not achieving where they need to achieve, it's like bum, trash. I was talking with my people in the chat group today about Old Wakandi and Kwame Brown. I'm like, I really truly believe in my heart of hearts that they could put up them same numbers Ben Simmons putting up right now, and they would still be looked at as a bust, because a number one draft pick should be giving you a whole lot more than 15 points per game. You know what I mean? But to answer your question, I think he's doing great defensively, but I think that's one of those things that that's not where we wanted him to get better. I don't think that's where Ben came back, he had pictures of him in the gym lifting. It's like, but nigga, we didn't ask you to lift more weights. I always give this analogy of a husband and wife, and the husband's not working and the wife's working, and the house is clean. The kids are fed, all that shit. And the wife is like, bravo, but nigga, I need you to get a goddamn job. You know what I mean? And I feel like that's Ben Simmons. It's like, he's doing everything, but we didn't ask you to get better defensive. We didn't ask you to get bigger in the offseason. What we asked of you was, we need more points out of you. And it's just like, I'm not going to do that. And I've never had a conversation with a dude who's like, yo, I ain't getting no ass. But you know what? I'm not going to harp on that. I am just going to feel good about my wife, and she's a good mother. And I've never.
You know what? You know why that is? Because it's some fans that that is borderline, that go all the way to the other side. Like, you got your stance, and there's some fans like, yo, he's the worst player, he's terrible. So it's like, how can you call him that when he does this well? Like, it's no middle ground, man.
But I think it's based off of expectation. I just think it's based off of what is your number when I think NBA, and I love playing defense, especially on 2K, because y'all know I can't play a lick in real life. Like, I'm on 2K.
Like, oh shit, you play
I love defense. Like, I be running back my plays, like I blocked the shit out of that shot. Like, I love defense, but when you think NBA and you think draft, when you think lottery, you think scoring. So I think it's going to take people a while to just understand that that's not it. So you're going to have the people who are saying, yo, this husband is doing a great job. The house is fixed, the cars are fixed, the kids are fed, they're at school, they're doing well. But if the wife is saying, for us to be able to financially go to that next level in our life, you have to get a job. Like, all this good stuff he's doing is hard to focus on, because the number one thing I need you to do for us to go to the next level, you're not doing. So that's the problem. For us to keep Ben, we need somebody else. We need, like what we just said with JR, we need somebody who can get us buckets. Tobias can do that maybe every other game. He's not going to be able to give us 32 a night. Curry is not going to be able to give us 32 every night. And I just feel like that's what we need. So I feel like that's why you have, and I've been in that category at times. And like I said, from going back and forth with you and just looking at this season, I've given up. That's not, I can't expect Ben to give us 30, because that's not his game. But I just think then I think the people who are saying he's trash is because we need you on the offensive side of the ball, and you're no help there. So again, when people compare him to Rondo, I'm like, well, that's cool, but Rondo was like a number 22nd pick. If Ben Simmons was a number 23rd pick, I ain't saying shit about the nigga. I ain't saying nothing about him. But I'm sorry, when you're a number one pick, you think something comes with that number one pick. I know I'm old, so the number one pick used to be a Tim Duncan that changes your franchise. No general manager is getting the number one pick and thinking 15, 7, and 6, 5 years into their career. You're not thinking that. I promise you. Any general manager who sees them numbers is going to be like, nope, I want to do it. Because those just aren't number one draft pick. So again, when people compare him to Rondo, it's like, you'd have to compare him to another number one pick. I don't want to compare him to Rondo, because if he was 22nd, I got no problem with Ben. I feel like I could go to a fucking deal. I don't want to say that. I feel like there are other players who can be a great floor general and facilitator and play defense. Because here's the thing, I've just never seen. Here's another thing I've never seen.
Not play defense 1 through 5.
Well, that's true. But what I'm saying is, again, with Ben Simmons, I just feel like it's something new. It's like a bright. You don't understand how many basketball fans I've done in marriage counseling. I'm like, nigga, if you love Ben Simmons, you better never complain to me about your wife. Because you know what? You may not be getting no head, nigga, but guess what? She probably keeping the house clean, stuff is done. Shit, we still recording. I'll just keep it going. Just keep on. Just be happy. Don't be mad. Don't be mad because your daughter's hair is done, right? Okay, that's a plus. Your son went to the barbershop, right? Your kids all A's. Don't complain. And to me, that's what happens with Ben Simmons. Because guess what? You want some head? You don't care about all the other shit your wife is doing. You just want some head. So even though Ben is doing all this other stuff, you don't care about that stuff because you need somebody to score. So your number one priority is getting some. Most husbands' number one thing is, I want to get some. And if they're not getting some, they're upset. Okay, I've been doing marriage coaching for 12 years. That's about the roundabout roundup of marriage. I want some and I can't get some. Now we in counseling. Why we in counseling? Because the husband ain't happy. The wife can sit there and tell you 18 other things she doing good. I done got that man's medicine. I done made sure that nigga ain't have a stroke. I done gave that nigga mouth to mouth when he passed out. She done did all that shit. He still can't get nothing. Guess what? All that shit to save this man's life don't mean shit because he can't get nothing. So I think for a Sixers fan, most fans is like, yo, score the ball. What's exciting about the NBA now? Why did we move back to 3-point line? Why did we move away to hand checking? Because we want excitement. We want scoring. Why was that Dame Dollar Dash, that Dame game so great the other night? The scoring. You know, nobody really cares about defense. It's an important part of the game. Please don't get that twisted. But again, I just think when you're the number one draft pick, most people aren't drafting you to be a defensive stopper. You know, and I'm just sitting back like, yo, when did defensive players start getting this much love? I never heard Bruce Bowen get this much love. I never heard Ron Artest get this much love. I never heard Tony Allen in Memphis get this much love. I've never heard.
They ain't all stars. None of them niggas you name.
But they play great defense.
Tony Allen was an all-star.
Tony Allen might got there once. He was first team all defense, but they won.
Ben Wallace.
Ben Wallace is in the Hall of Fame.
But he was he in the Hall of Fame. Yeah.
But now all of a sudden with Ben Simmons, now everybody care about the defense stats. Everybody care about defensive player. I've never been a barbershop a day in my life in Philly, Brooklyn, New York, Baltimore, where people are talking about defensive player of the year.
The identity of our team. The identity of our team, though, that's a strong point of our team is defense. We're a defensive team.
I agree with you. I think he should be defensive player of the year. I think he's great. But again, I just think I'm just trying to answer your question on why people think he's trash, why people have a problem with him, is because what we need from you. Because I think if we got James Harden who don't play no defense, I think our team is defensive minded enough as playing team defense, and we still got Embiid, we still got Thibault, that we could still play great defense, even with a James Harden who quote unquote plays no defense. I think we'd still be a great defensive team.
You say that, man, basketball people are like coaching stuff are full of crap. And when I say that, I mean they are defense win championships. We need people play defense. Well, how come you recruit scorers? Yeah, and I told my daughter this. Listen. Yeah, you're gonna play defense, but you better score that ball. That you 5'6", you better score. You know, and every team she's been on, she had to score the ball. She's gonna play solid defense and get steals and stuff, but you gotta score in basketball. I don't care what nobody say.
You ain't never lie, because I'm looking at something right now and somebody ain't scoring and they getting the motherfucking smoke beat up their ass.
They getting spanked,
you have to put the ball in the hoop.
I agree. And again, I just want to know, like, there has to be a mental thing, because I said, he can do it. He can do it in the summer. He can do it in the videos. He can do it, you know. People before they had the pandemic, and even now, people like, yo, Ben be shooting threes all before the game, like when they're out on the court. You know what I mean? So again,
it's mental then.
But again, that's my thing. If that's not your game, then why are you taking threes? If that's not your game, but then if you can make them, so that's what I mean. That's why I'm like, where's the 30 for 30? Like, what happened that Rich Paul is your agent? You hang out with LeBron James. Like, I'm sure niggas talk shit to you all the time about your jumper. Like, and I'll lean the wreck and rail on this because y'all are ball players. Is there no personal, like, oomph that you want to come back when niggas fucking defend you? Like, the whole joke was, you want to know how not to get COVID? Play defense like Ben Simmons. Play 6 feet defense. Because that doesn't hurt your feelings as a player. Like, Wreck, you wouldn't be offended if I played off you 6 feet?
The thing is, man,
that wouldn't make you want to get better. Like, yo, fuck this. I ain't gonna let niggas make fun of my beats.
Yes,
niggas said my drums was weak. Let me get hard in drums.
We from a different era, man. Like, we gave a fuck. These kids, man, they're making a lot of money.
That's what you're saying.
A lot of money. They don't got exactly. They don't have the same work ethic that we were instilled at a young age, whether it was something that we loved to do or something that we saw someone do.
Your dad was a professional basketball player.
That's fine.
That don't mean anything.
Hey, to your point, so the emphasis was being you're gonna go to the league, you're gonna make it to the league.
Yep. When you get there, now
all his life, I made it to the league.
Right.
Now what?
What more you want?
And here's the thing. And if that's true, then that's what I have a problem with Ben Simmons. Because I agree, you make it to the league, you got here, you accomplished your goal, you're rich, you had a Kardashian, Rookie of the Year, All-Star 2-3 times, but your game is still the same.
Yes.
And again, it's just a personality thing. To me, I really, truly, honestly try to be a doper person every day. I want to be a better husband than I was yesterday. I want to be a better dad. I want to be a better whatever I am to people. I want to be better every day. And I think that's why my personality doesn't gel with what I think is a Ben Simmons personality of I'm married, I'm good, I ain't got to do shit else.
As an opponent, if he would just get a modicum of a mid-range jumper and work on his free throws, he would be otherworldly. I mean, he's good at what he does now, but I don't want him to want no more. Because if he did, he'd be Magic Johnson, but better defense. You know what I mean?
And more athletic.
And with a jumper.
More athletic. Yeah.
Rel, do you have players?
Why do you think? Are you upset with Ben's game not evolving and him basically being the same player offensively? I know he stepped up defensively, but offensively, do you have a problem with him basically being what he is?
Yes, to me.
Yeah,
that's me. I have a problem with I have a problem with aggressiveness when it comes to scoring. He actually this year his stats are lower than they usually are. And I feel like he really tried to get into that facilitator bag to a fault this year. You know what I'm saying? He's like, I got some shooters now, because a long time we didn't really have shooters like that on the team. So he's like, I got some shooters now. Let me drive, kick, set them up. And I think it's the stretches of not being aggressive is what frustrates me. But I just know.
Now, do you think that's a mental thing? Because when people would be like, yo, he needs a 3, I'm like, look, if I have one wish, better free throws. Because if he could shoot better free throws, then he could just attack the basket, get to the foul line, and go to that free throw line with confidence. And he could average damn near 15 to 20 points just attacking the basket. But I think he doesn't attack because of the whole, what we just saw in DC with the whole hacker bit. We saw what his eyes look like going to that free throw line. It's like, fuck. Like, okay, I got it. Like, so do you think that's why he doesn't, like when you said when he's not in those attack modes, do you think it's the mental thing?
I think it's trying to be Mr. Point Guard thing for me. I think he's just trying to facilitate too much. Like, I like it, but then it be times where like, yo, take this dude. You know what I'm saying? Just like, because you can watch, they had the kid Gafford on, who's athletic and can block shots. But when Ben drives and takes that hard step in Euros, he's bumping you out the way because he's too big. Pause. So you he oh man.
Everybody at home watching, if y'all still tuning in, this is what happens on Apartment 5B after we hit cut.
So he just doesn't do that enough. I remember summer league, he took some mid-range jump shots. They were like kind of like out of like, they were like flat. They weren't like with the ball in his hands. He kind of like came to the high post elbow, stopped, turned around and shot it. You know what I'm saying? I don't know, man. I think it's mental, man. His shot is not broke. Like, the form of it isn't broke as it was, because he had the ball like a little turn.
He's left-handed, but he's shooting with his right hand, right?
Nah, he shoot with his left hand.
He shoot with his left. He's right hand.
His elbow is out. He's like me. I'm left-handed, but I'm a right-handed dominant. I shoot the ball with my right hand. Okay. The problem is he doesn't have a straight alignment. His shit is like this.
It's like this. Yeah.
And think about it. If I'm trying to get the ball to go straight, it's not gonna go straight.
It's like shooting sideways. Is how niggas be shooting.
Correct. You got motherfuckers shoot the ball like that's how he shoots. So rule of thumb is
now, can that be fixed? Can that be fixed?
It can be fixed, but not during the season. They tried to do that shit with LaMelo or Alonzo Ball. Motherfucker was hitting goddamn the third row. Training somebody's jump shot in the middle of a season. You don't practice.
No. There is no practice in the middle of the season. The issue of what is he doing in the off season?
I don't understand how basketball players that your job is to play basketball. You got to put on roofs to make ends meet. No, man. What else are you doing besides working on the aspects of your game
that's not a fair assessment, because it's people that can't do certain stuff. It's people that don't shoot well. Like you can't, like for instance, the Dwight Howard can't shoot, right? Can't shoot free throws really well. But do you look at Dwight Howard and say, man, that guy doesn't put the work in? The dude's 35, still in this type of shape. You know what I'm saying?
Point guard. But here's the question. Here's my question, because here's the thing. Shaq couldn't shoot free throws. Kobe's number one beef with Shaq was you don't work hard enough. You don't work in the off season, and you're off trying to be a superstar, shoot movies and shit. So that may not be a fair assessment for Ben because we don't know. But here's another person who couldn't shoot free throws. Well, we have another player saying my beef with you is I'm a hard worker and you're not. I just got finished reading this whole book about the Lakers with Shaq and Kobe's whole beef. So I'm a hard worker and you're not. That's my problem with you. If you put in half of the work that I put in, nigga, we could have ran chips for the next 8 to 10 years.
I need to hear somebody. I mean, like, I don't know, man.
I mean, and this may go back to my question, because this was my question. But here's the problem. That would make sense. I feel like this is a court case. That would make sense if you can show me the evidence of you being able to take these shots in the summer. So all of this, he can't do this, he shoots like this, he can't go that way, he can't do this way, but you do it in the summer. So that's the problem with the evidence. That's the problem.
When you work out in the summer, hold on.
Think of what he can't do if you had video of me doing it.
It don't mean shit. Nope. Video of you doing it, and then the game.
I got a roll.
If he's not doing it, one, game speed.
Yep.
And in spots to where the offense is going to be ran, that shit don't matter, because if Doc Rivers does not run a specific offense, he can shoot the ball from the motherfucking free throw line. If he ain't gonna never be there within the offense or no offense.
But then aren't we talking about two different things then? Because at first it was Ben Simmons can't shoot. Now what I'm hearing is he can shoot in the summer in the right places. But if Doc doesn't say, now isn't that Doc's job? Because
no,
I can't. You know what this is? This like slavery. This like slavery. Master, I can't read. Now I'm out in the slave field reading. What you're trying to tell me is Ben Simmons can't shoot, Master, but he'll watch this video of me shooting, but now I can't shoot over here. So then whose fault is that? Is it Doc Rivers' fault?
It's different shooting in the gym with some dudes and shooting in the gym by yourself, and then shooting in the game.
But then the thing is, so am I wrong to believe that we can stop this? Ben Simmons can't shoot, because this conversation started with
Ben Simmons.
That's like taking the shit standing up. Now I'm hearing, he can shoot, but now
I didn't say that. I didn't say he could or couldn't shoot. What I'm saying is him putting out videos on Instagram of him making shots in the corner. That shit don't mean anything, because if you're standing there and all you're doing is taking jump shots in the corner, we don't know how long he was there. We don't know how warm he is. We don't know nothing. We don't know anything.
He taking shots in the corner. He coming down, breaking niggas off the dribble, pulling up. He looking like Klay Thompson in these videos.
That doesn't mean that he can do that in the game. He might not have a green light to do those things.
Ben Simmons can shoot jumpers, yes or no? Because we see it. If I'm right, you talking
about we have seen it before in videos.
I'm just saying in general. Ben Simmons can shoot jumpers. Okay, that's all I'm saying. That's one thing, because before the conversation, not necessarily here, but it's been he can't shoot. So we're now saying he can.
I don't
but it's
think
different in game speed. I totally understand
I don't
that.
think he has the confidence to play the same way that he plays in the summer.
Right.
To play in the league.
Which is psychological.
And yes, he needs to go see a sports psychologist. I was gonna ask Rel, you coach, you've played. How many people that you've played with in your life the way you like, nigga, if you play the same way you play in practice in the games, that's Ben Simmons. So Kill, I give you an example. I give you an example. He should. At this stage of his life, he should. He got it from what I've seen and from what we've talked about. He got a lot of shit going on. He should, because it does affect how you step on that court. And after he's been in the league, what, 5-6 years now?
It's been 5.
It's been 4 because
He needs to go see Dr. Phil or some fucking body, because there's something psychologically going on to where he is not comfortable in situations to where he can actually be successful on the basketball court at certain times. He's not clutch. We watched that shit over the weekend. That mug, his face when he kept having to go to the line just looked like your face, Kill, when you saw whatever you just saw in this game.
I just saw Devin Booker drain a beautiful jump.
Yeah, Devin is killing. Anyway.
Yo, what in the world?
Yeah, it's over. It's a wrap. It's a wrap.
I ain't gonna say it's a wrap. It's only second.
It's a wrap. It's done. It's over.
he needs to go and see and speak to a sports psychologist about how he can change his game, if he wants to change his game or become a better player, because there's something psychologically wrong with how he's playing in those things that we see in the summertime versus what we see right now. He's a good player.
I wish he would develop and people would mention this player too, what Lamar Odom developed. Lamar Odom was the tall point guard guy.
Yes.
Later on in his career, he developed that jump shot because he didn't have it at first. He developed that jump shot, and that it was some times in them Lakers championship games where I remember one game he had like 39 and 19 rebounds. Like he was balling. You know what I'm saying? If Ben can develop that,
but we talking about two different animals. Lamar was coming at you regardless.
But I mean, I think one thing is like that's the frustration again with Ben is that we all saying things he needs to get better on that he hasn't. Because to me, you should have seen it shrink the second year in the league. Why are you on your 4th year talking about I'm gonna get my brother to be my shooting coach?
I only think he needs to get better at shooting.
Yeah,
right.
I'm fine with everything.
But I mean, that's kind of big. Like that's like
no, it's big. I'm not saying
all he has to do is get better at Langston Long. Like,
what I'm saying is it's not a whole bunch of other things that he needs to get better at. It's mainly that one thing. Yo, this is
just that main thing is like offensively the most important thing.
Yeah, because in the league, you got if you're gonna be dominant, you got to be a 3-level scorer. If you're not a 3-level scorer, then the defenses they already don't play no defense. Now they really ain't gonna play no fucking defense, and that is a problem.
This series gonna be interesting, man.
Is knowing that again, like I said, I believe this dude. I believe the hype, and I don't even believe his hype. When they said, "Yo, this dude could be the next LeBron James," I truly believe that Ben Simmons has the talents and the gifts to be one of the next great ones. I believe he has the gifts and the talents to be a Hall of Fame basketball player. I believe he has the talents and the gifts to be one of the people that people talk about 20 and 30 years from now. And I believe if he stays the way he is right now, I don't see any Hall of Fame for him. I don't see us talking about him 20, 30 years from now. It's almost like when Kenny Anderson, and Derek Coleman. Derek Coleman was supposed to be the greatest power forward ever. And, you know, again, I don't want to assume on whatever happened. It didn't happen. Kenny Anderson came to the league. Supposed to be the best point guard ever. If y'all haven't seen Kenny Anderson's documentary, very dope. Very dope.
That's a dope. That's a dope part.
Netflix?
Nah, it's on Amazon.
Okay. It's on Prime. It's on Prime.
Okay. All right. Check it out.
But again, it's like Derek Coleman. Derek was supposed to be the best power forward ever. And he's not going to the Hall. He's not. We're not talking about him 20, 30 years later. And if we are, it's just because of what he was supposed to be. So I think that's why he was so upset, because it's like, dog, with Rondo, nobody expects shit from Rondo. You know, so there's no reason to get mad
about
at
Coleman though.
It's
Coleman,
not. You don't get
average.
mad at the person you don't expect nothing from. You get mad at the ones who's like, man, you could be one of the great ones. Like my nigga, you could be.
Yeah.
You know, and I think that's where all the frustration comes from. But, Rel, give them everything, bro, where they could get the clothing from, everything. I've kept y'all up all night. So.
I know. Uptown J Ben on the gram, JBen215 on Twitter, Fairgrade PHAREGRADE on Instagram. That's the clothing line. That's it.
DJ Raekwon, give them everything where they could get at you, mixes, radio,
man.
everything, man.
It's been crazy, man. I'm on a lot of shows right now, man.
Hey, that's a beautiful thing, man.
Texas Radio tomorrow, 8 to 9. MMR Radio Saturdays, 8 to 9. Q96 Omaha, Nebraska, Friday nights from 7 to 8. And I got one more show getting ready to get picked up next week, with the possibility of a few more shows, man. So I appreciate each and every one of y'all, man, for listening.
I remember when you weren't on the radio.
I wasn't on anything.
It's a beautiful thing to hear you be able to name off 8 radio stations. So, I mean, I'm happy for you. I'm proud of you.
I'm on 4 right now with a 5th one pending.
All right, that's a beautiful thing, man. That's a beautiful thing.
I appreciate y'all, man. Easiest way to get at me or to send music. I'm taking submissions for independent artists right now. Make sure you got a DJ service pack, clean radio versions. That's all I can play. You can catch me on Twitter at DJRec1. Instagram is at DJRec1. Those are the best 2 spots to hit me. And if you want to send any music, send it to DJRec1.fleetdjs@gmail. Send it there.
All right, no doubt. Vern, let them know where they can get a house if they are in Georgia.
Yeah, on Instagram at V the Loan Closer. I'm about to get South Carolina, North Carolina, and Florida in the next 2 or 3 months.
Yo, you know, this sound like a drug dealer, right? He's like, yo, you're about to take over this block.
Hey,
that block.
I need you to get that Texas license, homie.
Man, I had to talk to you offline about that.
Okay,
Right.
say less. Say less.
Yeah.
That's dope.
Oh, and I'm out of jail, man. I appreciate y'all.
Oh yeah, I was just about to say that. And you're out of
holding
jail.
me down, man. I did my bid on Twitter because I said they should curb stomp the dudes spin on Trey, and they put me in jail. But even though on Twitter, on Twitter, you can show porn, you can show people getting shot, run over by, you know, and racist comments, but you can't say curb stomp. So, look, boys and girls, learn from my mistakes.
Message: don't say curb stomp.
Yeah. Learn from my mistakes, but you don't have to do time, man. So on Twitter, B Channel 10.
All right. Y'all already know this with me, Kill889, IG, Twitter, willmakebeatsforfood.com. Got me in Vegas, his new EP dropping this month. Willmatic is dedicated to his cousin Ill Will out of Queensbridge. You know, prayerfully folk dig it. And working with this dope singer out of London. So prayerfully I'll have some stuff coming up with that. So I will definitely check y'all next week, y'all.
All right, peace.